Hotep Sinuhela Senuti Tiran Ishaka Nugu Kemet. I hope you're doing well. Let me just check this the sound. One moment. Loud and clear. Now we already have love me for in the place to be. Greetings to you, sister. I hope you're doing well. The title of this video is Asar Imhotep has zero peer-reviewed work on the toponym Kemet. And we're going to start with a little something like this.
Even the Nibby one that was shown, she was raising the question about.
She's not a scholar for the record, but she was kind of recognized by her peers. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, my point is that every now and then, and very often, really, scholars will bring up certain terms that they will revisit and that they will do a treatment on. So just so people understand that in the academic world and among scholarship, they're always doing this constantly. Like you can go to academia.edu and just subscribe to certain scholars, and you'll see them upload papers all the time on
Well,
on
well,
on
and
on
I'm
different
so glad,
concepts, on different single words,
and I'm so
and
glad,
so on and so forth.
and I'm so glad you're saying that because this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna
I
deal,
just
you
want you
know.
to show me one, or anybody to show me one that was done on the historical, comparative, or the etymological work for the place named Kemet.
You know,
That's what I that's what I
it's
asked.
funny because you
I
guys keep saying the same thing. Nobody has done that work on a particular word,
Then
but
show me.
they have done the work. They don't have a book for it, but they have plenty of articles. They have plenty of attestations and translations. The
All right,
work has
can you
been
give me an
done.
example? Can you give me an
Well, okay,
example
okay, okay. Here
of what you're
we
talking
have
about?
James P. Allen, and that's one. Chem, that's for the black.
No,
All
no,
right.
not the
No,
statement.
no, no,
I'm talking about the work. Show the work.
no, no. But when you mean the work, what do you mean? Arthribis? Do you mean the
No, no, no.
toponym?
Okay,
The
all
root
right.
of
That's
Kemet.
a good
Now
question.
we agree that the root of Kemet is Kem, right? Do we agree on that?
Wait. Let me explain what I'm asking for, because I don't think you understand. So because you asked me
Well,
what work am I talking about?
well, I do
Wait,
one
wait,
better.
wait.
What you are asking me, you can tell me if it's right or wrong. Can I show you some work, not necessarily a book, but some work by some scholar in the field of Egyptology where the depth with the toponym Kemet? Is that what you're asking me?
And the work that I'm yes, and the work that I'm asking for is, let me give you an analogy. So by you showing me the answer to a math problem, like 2 plus 2 is 4, and you just keep showing me 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, or let's say,
Well,
let's say a more complicated equation.
you
two
can
x
reject
two x
logic.
divided
No,
by
it's
4.
fine.
Wait, 2x divided by 4, blah blah blah, right? And you keep showing me the answer. When I ask you to show me the work, it's the same. It's similar to how math teachers will tell a student, you got to show your work. So I'm asking you for the scholar to actually show the work,
Well,
and not just
Ujao,
dictionaries, like because like
what
what you have on the
don't
screen. You
Ujao,
you have
you
Sir
you
Alan Gardner's on the screen.
Ujao, I'm glad you're saying that. I'm so happy.
Okay, yes,
First of all, you should ask that question to the scholars in the field. But we do have now. It's not
we
the
have
field of Egypt.
we have
Well, okay, that's great. That's great. And
we
and
have
and I would like to see that conversation because I cannot take what you say for face value. But in the
no
field
no
of
problem.
linguistics, yeah, yeah. Well, feel free to share it. In
So
the
so
field of
Asar has that. Asar Motep has that. He's
he
actually
has
asked.
everything. He says he has a relationship with the people from the TLA, and he says that he's a historian as well. I haven't seen any degree in history, so um, there's a
Wait.
PhD
You
in.
you 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 have to have a degree to become to be a historian.
You mean to tell me that we can come to the public and say I'm a historian without having any credentials in history? Is that what you tell me right now?
People do that with linguistics.
Back then, but now they don't do that. Now you need to have credentials. You need to be recognized by your peers. You need to have some peer-reviewed work. And so far, I have yet to
Christopher
see any
Christopher
peer-reviewed
Ehret
work.
is
You're
Christopher
talking
Ehret
about how
doesn't
many
have
years? How many? How many
doesn't have
years
a
ago?
degree
What
in linguistics.
does he have any peer-reviewed work in linguistics?
No,
Is
no,
he
but my
recognized
point.
by his peers as a linguist? That's
No,
a
you
huge
keep
difference.
invoking degree. Wait, you keep invoking degree though. Then stop saying degree.
Yeah.
Then.
No, I'm saying degree because now black people we have to do better. We
Boy.
have to do better. Like Garfield said, he has that's even worse. He says he has a bachelor's degree in history. When we ask him to show it, he doesn't show it. But anyway, what I want to say is that in the field of linguistics, we have Dr. Sandro Caposhishi, who has done the work. He has done some breakdown. And
No,
brother
he
Smash,
hasn't done a historical comparative work. He hasn't.
yeah,
What
but
do you know what do you know what
you
do you know what historical comparative linguistics is?
have you done historical comparative work yourself?
Not on this topic.
All
Asar
right,
Imhotep
all right,
has.
all right. Yeah, yeah. Is it peer reviewed,
Well, he's actually Gary published a book,
brother?
so you can ask him
Is
more
a
about that.
SAW comparative linguistic comparison peer reviewed
Some
on
of
the
it has
toponym
been.
comment? On
Some
the
of them
toponym
has.
comment.
Some of it has been reviewed by other
On the
linguists.
toponym comment, brother.
I'm answering you. I'm saying I don't know if
You're
you
not
can hear me. Can
answering
you
me.
hear me?
You're running because he
How am I
had the
running?
nerve.
Wait.
Well,
How
my
am I
question. Okay,
running?
let me ask a question. Let me ask a
Good
question again.
gosh, like you keep doing that.
You're claiming that Asar Imhotep has some historical comparative work
He
on
said,
the
"Sorry, I'm
toponym
whole
Kenem.
fake."
Yeah, that's how I call him. That's how I've been calling him because he's a fraud. He's a liar.
All right,
He's a deceiver. But anyway,
okay.
Asar Imhotep, just out of respect for you, is his work on the toponym Kemet peer reviewed in the field of linguistics or peer reviewed,
Um,
period? Besides a journal, Pan African Journal by Jai Issa, who accepts plagiarizers, but feel free. Where is it peer reviewed? Can we see it?
I tell you what. When he publishes his
Okay,
final
I'm talking
work,
today, brother.
wait, can
Today,
I
not in the
answer? Can
future.
I answer?
Not in the future. No, I'm asking you for today, not in the future. In the future, I'm going to
Well,
release a book as well.
I try. Okay, I try.
You're
Well,
running, brother.
no, I'm really not. If you let me talk, I'm really not. And
My
listen,
question is about today.
listen,
Today,
listen.
today. Does he have any
Wait.
peer-reviewed work
Okay,
today?
listen. Before I answer any further questions from you, let's first establish that Wujao does not run. Like I'm here on your channel
Well,
at
please,
6 in the morning.
please answer that question.
Wait. You have to get rid of this delusion like you think I'm running from something.
Well, show me you're not running. Does Asar Imhotep today?
I'm here now. If you let me talk, I'm not running. I
we
don't
are
run from
Sunday,
nothing. Like y'all got it
Hold up,
October 9th.
twisted.
brothers. Hold up.
Sunday,
Let's
October
hear it.
9,
Y'all got it really
2022.
twisted, boy.
Does
That's
Asar
Question is,
Imhotep have any peer-reviewed work on the
I'm
toponym
like,
of Kemet?
I'm here. I want all the fire and
right.
smoke. Like I'm
Yeah,
not
but
running.
okay,
And
show me your
peace to
fire and
you,
your smoke.
Asar Ka.
Yeah, peace to
Peace
you,
to you.
Asar
Peace, peace, and
Yeah,
Imhotep.
But
but
let
please,
me answer your question.
Imhotep, both
yeah,
of them.
Let me
please
answer your
answer the
question.
question, please.
Okay, let me answer your question. Now, Asar Imhotep is more than capable of speaking for himself. From what I know of his work on this particular issue, Toponym, a place named Kemet, he has had scholars review some work that he's already done and put in print. But he has a plan, I think he said in January or February, to release the main book that he's been talking about on this particular topic. That's all the stuff has been leading up to. So at
Thank
that
you very
point in
much.
time, you may maybe you want to interview him, bring him on your channel.
No, but obviously you don't want to answer my question, but I understand
Okay,
from
wait.
your answer today, Asar Imhotep doesn't have any peer-reviewed work. That's what I understand. You have the right to.
I don't know how you got that from my answer. I said I
Okay, so
do
let me
know.
ask the
Wait,
question again. Let me ask the question again. Okay, please.
listen,
If he
listen. What I'm
has,
saying.
if he listen, if he has some peer-reviewed work, then it means it
Asar
is
God, can you help
available.
me out here, brother?
What? No, he
Yeah.
doesn't need your. He doesn't need any help. You don't need any help from Asar Imhotep. If he has some
I'm just talking
peer-reviewed
about
work,
not
then it
being
is
interrupted.
available. It is available for us to see whether it has a DOI number or not. So if he has some peer-reviewed work, you'll be able to direct us to this work. That work doesn't exist. It doesn't have any peer-reviewed work in the field of linguistics dealing with the toponym Kemet, even in the field of Egyptology for that matter. And you're being disingenuous. You just don't want to admit it as if he's going to kill you. He's not going to kill you. It's his claim. It's not your claim. You agree with his claim, but that's his claim
Listen,
regardless. Why
I
can't you
am not
say today he doesn't have any peer-reviewed work? Why can't you just say it?
okay. Listen, you asked me a question,
Yeah.
and you want me to answer it a specific way, and that's to me is just crazy. I don't know why people do that. But
Okay.
let me answer it. Let
Okay,
Hold on,
me
brother.
it's
I'd
answer
like
it's
to
okay.
your
Oh,
answer
sorry,
real
Amka, feel
quick.
free,
Yes,
feel
sir.
free,
your
feel
So
free.
your
He's not gonna
question.
answer. It's okay.
So
It's okay.
no,
I got
Asar
you,
Khan,
King.
I
Yeah,
am. I'm going
yeah.
to answer
Well,
the question.
if you don't mind,
I already gave you my receipt.
let us let Osamka interject, and we still have time. Go ahead, Osamka.
Well, hold up,
Feel free, brother.
that's just not that's just unfair right there. But go ahead.
That's unfair. Okay, go ahead, Osamka. That's
Hold
Because
on,
you
unfair.
let
asked,
me
That's
no,
make
unfair.
sure
no,
real
because
quick.
hold up. This is what's unfair about it. You asked me a question, I answer it. You don't like the answer, so you accuse me of running when you know
Okay,
good
okay,
and well
okay,
I'm not
okay,
running.
okay, fine. Let
Like,
me rephrase the question.
you know in the fabric of your
Today,
bones,
let me
Mujal don't
rephrase the
run from
question.
nothing.
For the
I'm on your
benefit of the
channel.
court, for the benefit
I'm
of the
on your
court,
channel.
today, does Asar Imhotep have any peer-reviewed work on the toponym of Kemet? Yes or no?
Well, it's not a yes or no because okay,
Okay, fine.
wait. In terms of a published peer review, like if it's published and somebody actually reviewed his work in as far as a published review, I haven't seen a published review. No. But
No, no. And you're still
wait,
being disingenuous. I haven't seen. You know damn well he doesn't have any, but that's fine. Osam, feel
listen,
free.
listen, 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 listen,
Okay,
listen.
finish, finish,
The
finish,
brother
bro.
can speak for himself. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, to the best of my knowledge, that the brother has. See, what I do know is that the brother has been in communication with other linguists, and he's
I've
passed
been
on
in
their work.
communication with
Wait,
linguists as well. I mean, that
can
doesn't
I
mean
finish?
anything. Come on. I
Can I
mean, we're a
finish?
grown man,
Can I
Buja.
finish?
What are you doing right now?
Can I
That
finish?
works with your groupies on your
Can I
channel,
finish?
but we no.
Can I
But finish
finish?
it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
appreciate it. What I mean by communication, I'm not talking about just a hey, what's up, peace. I'm talking about communication for the purposes of critiquing what he passes over to them, and they giving him feedback.
And that's all invisible. But he doesn't have any published work. I'm happy with your answer. That's clear as day. That's clear as
Okay,
water.
so
He does not have any peer-reviewed work to this day. He's gonna have some in the future, like he's gonna enter that PhD program in Egyptology, like he claimed, and he's
but
gonna
listen,
show,
he can
that's fine. In
but
the
if
future,
he
he's gonna do
wait,
everything. He's gonna prove
okay,
everything.
okay, but now here's the thing. Asar, you should interview him. Now he can tell you
I would never
to what
interview a
degree.
plagiarizer.
Okay, fine. But he would be able to tell you more
Unless he said,
accurately
okay,
than
I
me.
plagiarized, my bad, and then he keeps it pushing,
Okay.
but he's not
I'm
acknowledging
just
that.
man, I'm trying to get this thought
No,
out.
go ahead, brother. We have time. Go
So,
ahead.
okay, so what I'm saying is, to my knowledge, that the brother has passed on work to scholars that actually gave him feedback, and I've
But
seen it.
brother, you're talking about private conversations. I'm not talking about private conversation. So
That's why I
go ahead.
answered that. Wait. That's why I answered your question the way I did. I said,
Yeah, but
as far as
scholarship is
public,
not private
listen,
conversation. Scholarship is
listen.
about what is available for the public, what has been
Scholarship
presented
is
to the
both.
public.
Scholarship is both, dude. What are you talking about?
Scholarship is what?
Scholarship is both. People pe-
It's
people
both.
have people have people have conversation with scholars all the time, and it doesn't have to be published.
So are you
Good
going to
gosh,
accept if I
where
say, are you
where
going
you
to
live at?
accept if I say I had private
Where you
conversations with
where you
some
live
people in the field and they agree with my claim? Are you going to accept that? We don't even see the conversation. We don't know what they talked about, and we're going to take people's words for face value.
No, your claim. No, what I'm saying is that scholarship
Like,
involves both. I don't know
brother, you're
where.
just
I don't know
defending him too
where.
hard. You have the right to like him and
No,
defend him, but right now, I
actually,
mean, that's
actually,
sad.
no.
That's sad,
Listen,
brother.
I actually told you should interview him, but
No, he's a plagiarizer.
knowing me,
He's
I
he
know.
and he claimed to be a historian. He doesn't have any
So you
credentials in the
refuse.
field.
So you refuse to talk to him, but you want to
I
ask me
refuse to
questions.
talk to someone that has done the worst thing in academia, which is
You
plagiarizing.
running
But
from him.
you guys are
You run from the star.
normalizing. Oh, for real?
You
That's why I call on your
you
platform
running.
and I hollered at him. But it's okay, fine.
You running.
Osam, feel free. Yeah,
You
whatever.
know,
That's an
him and his
excuse.
Go ahead,
son got
Osam.
jumped
Go
out a
ahead.
little
Go ahead.
I'm
bad,
not
Go
going to
ahead,
but
Osam.
interview him because he's a plagiarizer.
So okay. So you agree with plagiarizers? You're cool with that? That's
No,
due
I'm saying
diligence to you? That's
no,
my act to you?
I'm saying you refuse to interview him because you call him a plagiarizer. That's scared. You scared, man.
He doesn't have any credentials in the field. He doesn't have any degree in the
I
field.
don't,
He's not
but
recognized
I'm on your
in the
channel.
field. Wait,
I
and
don't, and I'm on your
but
channel.
you don't claim to be a linguist, do you?
Right,
Right,
but I don't have
fine. And
listen,
he doesn't
I don't
have
have a
any
wait,
peer review.
I don't have a
He doesn't
credential,
have any peer reviewed work in the field.
but I'm on your
Diop was peer reviewed. Obega
listen,
was peer reviewed. So
I'm on
in the
your
field of
channel.
linguistics, Asar Imhotep is nobody. He's a
I'm
wannabe.
on
He's
your
an
channel. I know.
enthusiast.
I'm a nobody and I'm on your channel.
But you're not
But
false claiming, are you? Have you
but
plagiarized several books in
but
several
I'm
different
saying
languages? You have
no, but listen.
plagiarized one book, which is Shakespeare Island, not several authors,
hold
right?
up, I'm gonna go back in
Okay,
and check
but
because
yet
my
Yeah,
I'm
brother
but
over
yet
here about to choke me.
I'm on
Imhotep, yo.
I'm on your channel.
Yeah.
But yet I'm on your channel, but for the same reason you won't allow Saw your channel. I'm saying you're scared.
So
But
yeah, you can say that. No,
let's
you
be
can
going.
say that. You
Let's
you
be
can
going.
say that it's fine. But for your information, back in
Just keep going.
2010 when I found out he was pseudo. He said he will write some article about Hebrews in Kemet. I wrote 2 articles. He didn't write jack. Then when he spoke to Dr. Wesley Muhammad, he threw shade. So if somebody he's scared, it is that coward. You know, I wrote 2 articles about him. The dude now is Allah an indigenous African god, Uja?
Say it again.
Now, okay, let me play this.
The god Allah is an indigenous African god.
Is that accurate information?
Asar explains all that stuff, so you gotta ask him.
Do you agree with that?
That Allah is an indigenous African god?
Yes.
Nah, and that's not what Asar meant when he said that. Like you
Oh, there
definitely
we
take that
go.
sound bite.
There we go. There we go. That's not what I meant. Now, feel free anytime.
No, let us
So make a
let
video.
Asar deal
Wait,
with you
wait,
on
no,
that.
no, but no. But you see, now we're seeing how
Let Asar
disingenuous you
deal
are.
with you on that.
Even the craziest claim in the world. Now, at least you said.
I said
Now,
no.
you
Listen, I
you
said
you said
no.
you know because that's not what he said. Please,
No.
please show the full.
Listen
Wait,
what I'm
please,
saying.
please
Listen what I'm
show the
saying.
full
Can
thing. Play
I
the
answer?
full thing in context. If this is out
No,
of context, please
I'll
play the
let
full
him
thing
do
in
it.
context. Okay.
I'll let him
All
do
right.
it.
Okay. Okay. All
As
right.
long as you're not
Okay.
scared.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Now,
Hebrews, saying come from and who they are specifically. Because based upon my research, these are African people.
This thing's queued up.
do you
Boy,
agree that Hebrews are African people?
you got some alpha Asar, boy. I tell you,
Are you scared? No, this is the public claims that he makes. Yesterday, I addressed Dr. Wesley Muhammad. I don't focus on Asar Imhotep. When I talk about Dr.
You
Wesley
got this
Muhammad,
stuff
I don't hear
queued
you
up,
complaining
boy. God
because
dang.
he's your
I'm pushing
friend.
a button.
You want to defend
Well,
him at
speed
all
dial.
costs. My
No, I
question to
don't.
you,
No,
Uja,
listen.
if you're not scared, if you're not running, do you
I'm just
agree
not
that
gonna sit
Hebrews are
here.
African people?
I'm not gonna. No, you say African people?
Hebrews are African people. That's what Asar Imhotep said. Do you agree with that?
I don't even know to the extent because when you play your clips, I don't the way that you be playing clips, I can't get into that. You need to have this conversation with Asar Imhotep. Don't ask me about that.
He's not there. When I went on the platform, I pulled up on your
Here's what's
platform
gonna
to
happen.
talk,
No, but
and he would not let me
here's what's
talk.
gonna happen. Here's
Okay,
what's gonna happen.
now okay, brothers and sisters. Now, first, I want you to stop playing this excerpt a little bit, like a couple of minutes before I let it play. Then I thought, oh, let me just play it until for the first time in his life. And you know what? I might as well do that. I changed my mind. For the first time in his life, he actually said that he disagree with the song. So it is not worthy. So yeah, I might as well just do that.
You're
Okay,
gonna ask
This
me.
is
wait.
how we know that the Hebrews. First of all, you got to understand that Hebrew is an African language.
I got
Do you agree
Asar
that Hebrew
queued
is an
up.
African language?
I wonder if you got the Rodecaster Pro.
Do
You
you
got these on
agree
speed dial.
that
Like
Hebrew
click,
is an
click, click,
African
click,
language, Wuja?
click,
Are you
click.
scared? Are you gonna run?
No. Listen.
All right. So
This is
do
what
you agree that Hebrew is an African language, Wuja?
Hebrew is a Semitic language.
All right. So my question to you is, I'm not asking you if it is a Semitic language. You're being disingenuous. It's such a shame. Do you agree that Hebrew is an African language, Wuja?
Okay, I want you to understand what you just did.
Wuja would never say he disagree with Asar Imhotep, and he makes it clear right now.
Can I talk though? But can I talk?
Can you answer my question?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
If you allow me to talk.
Is Hebrew an African language, Wuja?
Okay. Now when
Yes or no?
I just answered you, right? I asked you about show me a dictionary where Kemet
Now you're
place
running
named
right
Kemet.
now.
Wait. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Can you please answer my question, Wuja?
I will.
Is Hebrew an African language? Yes or no?
I will.
No, please answer it now
I
and
want to
then
point.
elaborate.
No, I'm not going to
Because you
elaborate.
want to rock
I
me
want
to
to
sleep
point.
and then I
No,
forget
I'm
if you
not.
answered or not. So please, Wuja,
I would have
please,
probably answered by now if you didn't interrupt
please.
me.
No,
Like
well,
you've
I
been.
would like you to answer first, then elaborate all you want.
I'm not going to elaborate. I want to make a different point before I answer your question.
All right, but please answer the question. Is Hebrew an African language? Yes or
This
no?
is the only way I can get my other point in is when you shut up after answering me a question. So
I have to shut up now. Okay, I'm gonna shut up then.
No,
Because you said so. I'm gonna shut up. Okay, go ahead. Answer.
At least allow me to talk.
Yeah,
Can we
go
do
ahead. Go
that?
ahead. Yeah, feel free. Feel free.
Okay. So earlier I asked you to show me if you're aware of any dictionary that defines the place name Kemet as the land of black people. But then you showed me and you talk about something different, black land, black land. And I never said you were disingenuous or running when you did that. But now when you ask me about the Hebrew language, if the Hebrew language being an African language, I said, oh, that's what you asked me. I said it's a Semitic language. So that's my stance. Hebrew is a Semitic language. So is that sufficient for you?
Well, that's not my question. My question is Hebrew an Asiatic language? My question
I
is
didn't say
Hebrew an
Asiatic. I said Semitic.
Okay, fine. I agree with you. I misquoted. You said Semitic. My question to you, Brother Ujau, is Hebrew an African language? Yes or no?
No, it's a Semitic language.
Thank you. You said no, it's a Semitic language. So, for the first time in history of mankind, you publicly stated that you disagree with Asar Imhotep. You are growing. I am congratulating you. If I had the setup, with the console, I'll put the claps, you know. Now, later on, I told him he's going to spank you. Now, I'm glad that you're here, brothers and sisters. I'm first going to go through the comments. So, besides Love Me Fro, I've already put the comment on the screen. We have Big Hotep to you. Big Road. What happens when you Google etymology of Kemet? Osamka wrote, these brothers were locked in mortal combat. I didn't get a chance to speak. I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to speak, but uh, everybody has seen that several times I said, okay, you go ahead, Osamka, just, go ahead, feel free, feel free. And then we just say, but that's unfair. Imhotep 360, how you doing? Imhotep sent E and Love Me Fro. I put peace. She's greeting the brothers. Now, first, what I will do actually is show you some screen print of several comments that were left, and then I will add some commentary. Let me just, and if some of you don't know, um, this evening I'm going to have a discussion with Chief X, provided that we will both be available and ready. But we have scheduled it for today, Wednesday, October 12th, and it will be 2 p.m. Los Angeles time, where our brother Chief X is located. It will be 5 p.m. New York time or 5 p.m. EST, and it will be 11 p.m. Paris time, France. It will be 10 p.m. London, England, United Kingdom. So if you want to hear that discussion, feel free. I'm sorry. I see there's a new comment. I will read it right after I finish sharing these screen prints. Now, how to make this larger. So here we have this comment by FX Nugget. Oh, Love Me Fro is in Cali as well. All right. So FX Nugget has such an inspiring username. He wrote, Shaka, go confront. Well, actually, he wrote go comfort. But that's how it is sometimes. He means go confront Asar and cut the BS. For your information, FX Nugget, no matter who or what you are, I have confronted the little homie. I saw him all fake. Just for your information, the 3 hour conversation is available on my channel. And you know what? For those who don't know, actually, for those who don't know, I'm gonna share the link because people love to act like they don't know. You know, MCs act like they don't know. Produced by DJ Premier. The hip hop heads know what I'm talking about. MCs act like they don't know. So here, Asar and Wujau versus all Egyptologists in the world. This is a 3-hour excerpt from Smash Rockwell's 6-hour live stream. While I'm at it, I'm gonna go back in memory lane. His talking points from the groupies is just incredible. You guys are new to this. You guys just woke up to this. But I've been telling people that I saw him fake his pseudo back in 2010, uh, 2010, 2011. Now you guys are just catching up. The groupies are just catching up. So this article here that I wrote after our conversation, after he said that he will write something about the matter, and I did not wait for him. Asar Imhotep invalid claim of Hebrews in Kemet. And there is a follow-up article. That was 2011. However, and you know what? I will show you. I will show. Well, I don't need to show you. On this link here, you will have a YouTube video where you can hear our exchange that took place in 2010. And the dude claimed that they were Hebrews in Kemet and that those Hebrews were black. So that was 12 years ago. You guys just woke up to it. He just tricked you, and you thought the dude was a scholar, and now you're mad and disappointed at butthurt. So the follow-up article is entitled Asar Imhotep Weak Scholarship. I'm going to share the link. People act like, confront him. You think I hollered at the dude already? But I'm used to the groupies and I'm used to the talking points of the groupies. I'm not used to the talking points of the pseudos and the gurus and the cult leaders and the cult leaders. I'm used to that. So you see, you have the link there. So nobody will be able to say, oh, I didn't know. We have 17 people online. So now that it has been shared, we have Tamika one, aka Blonde Hair. She said her hair is not blonde but brown. Fine. After she ended up saying, good convo, good conversation during our the live stream with Jao, she went on Bati Garfield's channel and she talked sideways about me. And I just told her, oh, you said good convo, good deal, and then you're going, and then she said, hey, hi, man, like nothing happened, but it's all good. I'm used to groupies. So she wrote, all I hear is hate. That's a groupie talking point. You address a claim of somebody and it becomes hate if you don't agree with them. It's just a simple, basic groupie talking point. Then she added, Asahimo fake is not there. Well, it's not there, so what? I'm supposed to talk about somebody's claim when he's there only? That's just ridiculous, whack and lame. But you cannot expect anything better coming from some low life groupies. Here, you see this username here, Jay? I wouldn't be surprised if this is Osahimo fake. I wouldn't be surprised at all because many of you have never been part of some organization. I've been part of some black organization before. You have plenty of Pan Africans. They are not even members of any Pan African organizations. I actually know a lady who told me about some Pan African organization that she belongs to, and I asked her for the name. And she said, "Oh, I have to call my sister to ask her." She did not even know the name of the organization that she belongs to. So I know a guy. He's very famous in the French-speaking world as a Pan African, and I knew him back when he used to create several accounts and post under these accounts. And he told me he did that, and he even created an account pretending to be a female with a female name. You know, but a lot of you don't can't even fathom things like that happening. You don't even know how low people can be when people don't show their webcam. They don't want you to see that they are reading from the screen. They don't want you to see that they are on the phone with their homies getting advices or reading text messages that they get from their friends to try to save them from situation. You're not familiar with that. You cannot fathom that. So he wrote, Asar really hurt this man. Then he wrote, it's been years and Shaka is still crying about Asar. When was I crying? We were talking about the claims. See, if people talk about the claims of Diop, nobody's saying, oh, crying about Diop. Same for anybody that's a scholar that has published something to the public, and we're addressing the claims. Those are just groupie talking points. Now, let me just show you quickly why I wouldn't be surprised if this is a saw him or fake. Because when you go on his channel, you see that's the YouTube channel. Home, nothing. This channel doesn't have any content. Videos, nothing. But usually anonymous and unidentified individuals. That's the way it is. Playlist, nothing. Channels, nothing. About, nothing. But when did he join? October 9, 2022. He joined very, very, very recently. Now, when did the conversation take place between me and Uja? 3 days ago. And today is October 12th. The same day I had the conversation with Uja, that username was created. And it doesn't take much effort to create a username. So for those who don't know, I pulled up on Uja's channel. I've played the exchange, and I saw him on fake wanted to talk about something he wrote 8 years ago. So he's 8 years behind, 8 years retarded. I'm dealing with the current claims because for those who don't know, sometimes people have different claims. They change their stance. I don't want to deal with what the dude said 8 years ago. That's lame. The dude is a coward, and he can come now. And he could have come anytime, but he will not do that. He knows he's going to get smashed. He knows that very well. So if you know him and you're one of his groupies, call him right now. Because when I suggested that to Wuja, Wuja's like, oh, but it's 6:30 a.m. I don't call people at 6:30 a.m. Well, now I'm sure. Well, what time is it now? It's 12 lunchtime. So any groupies of Asar Himo fake, please call him now. Any friends, because you might not like the term groupies, any friends, any associates, any colleagues, call him now and tell him it's on now, it's on the channel, the link is there, and let's see what's up. He will not do that. He doesn't have to, but he will not do that. So it's just to shut the mouth of the little groupies who want to act like, oh, confront him when I have done that years back. Just like I have confronted Dr. Wesley Muhammad and he challenged me to a debate and I accepted and we spoke about the specific on the phone and then he backed down when he realized that he was going to get crushed. We have 20 people online now. That has been done. And every now and then I get some Asiatic black men who happen to be groupies of Wesley Muhammad and they want to act like, oh, why don't you? Homie, he's done. I did that. We have 22 people now. You know? So he might play the card like he's busy. Well, anytime I'm live streaming, I'm putting the link. Now I will not probably not put the link for this evening with Chief X because I only want Chief X on the channel. We're gonna have that discussion. But everybody know that when I'm live streaming, I put the link in the chat and I don't screen the calls, you know. So let me continue with the other comments. There's not many, don't worry. Now Tamika, blonde hair groupie. This Tamika groupie, she's a moderator on several channels and she participates on several channels even if she's not a moderator. And this fans writing groupie, she will cheerlead for some people, and on some other channel, she will diss the other person. She's such a fence writer, it's amazing. But anyway, I'm really talking about her because she's a moderator, you know. And by the way, okay, it's okay. I'm gonna say no, it's not true. You cannot show and prove it's okay. Now here, Jay, who's possibly, let me say it this way. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Simon effect. Let me put it this way, because that's the kind of thing that he might address, you know. Oh, now he's accusing me of creating an account. Jay wrote, crazy thing is I used to listen to Shaka when he was speaking broken English. So apparently I used to speak broken English, fine. The man fell off after experiencing Asar. I fell off. I have 22 people as I speak right now. And I did not foretold people that I was going to go live. I have 20,000 subscribers. These are typical talking points of groupies. Sometimes people say, "Oh, he's irrelevant." Ujah came on my platform. Dr. Jai Issa came on my platform. Reggie used to come on my platform. He came in several times. He asked me to present information once. Netanyahu, studying linguistics formally, came on my platform more than once. So I'm not phased by that, but I want people to understand this comes with the territory. You will have some anonymous, unidentified individuals that will try to talk smack. Now, if it's not, I wouldn't be surprised if he's I saw some other name, but anyway, who knows? Maybe he's Batty Garfield. Now, here, he has Assad dolls in his room with needles in them too, I bet. I am of Haitian descent. So, hey, it is what it is, you know. Then Jay wrote, I am an atheist, but I pray the brother heals from Assad. Apparently, I'm supposed to heal. So, that's about it. Now, I want to actually deal with the commentary that I have, and then I will go through the comments as I usually do. All right. So, the first thing I want to say is that whoever used to follow Asahim or fake, some of them are realizing that they got tricked. Some people don't like admitting that they got tricked. They feel like they're going to be less of a man or less of a woman if they admit, well, somebody cheated me, somebody tricked me. So sometimes they will even defend people who did them wrong because they invested time, money, or energy. But some people are sad because, they just thought that the dude was legitimate. Now, as you have heard, there's the typical claim that the Riparianites, the RIP Arianites like to say. I hope I'm not muted though. No, I'm not. That no one has done the work. And you've heard the exchange. It's so funny when people say no one has done the work and themselves haven't done the work. It's not peer reviewed. And you even heard about, some invisible people, unknown people. Oh, he's been in communication. Those are just weak talking points. Hey, hey, hey. C'est quoi là? I'm sorry about this. See, Love Me for Road. Excuse me, but I used to follow them until and then, I guess you're going to add on, And I don't blame anybody for following anybody. I don't blame anybody for following anyone. But at some points, once you know that those people are fake and plagiarizers, and you keep on following them, what does that make you? And I'm not talking about our sister Love Me for. I'm talking about anybody in general. So there's a mention of Asahimo Fake being in communication with the people of TLA. He actually stated that himself. Oh, I'm in communication with the people of TLA. All those little weak talking points to try to present himself as a scholar. When I asked Huja how many scholars, how many PhDs agree with their claims. He said less than 10. And like I said, this is a euphemism for one or two. And notice we don't know their names. This is how they are tricking you. Now, the etymology of the word kemet, it's been 200 years that people have worked on the etymology of words of the ancient Egyptian language. When I told Uja, and I want to say I've said quite a few things about Uja before, but as of today, as from the time we spoke, we have 25 people online. I respect him for coming and having the discussion with me, which was respectful. But you notice that a simple question requires you to ask it more than 5 times. And even after that, you still don't get an answer. You know. Now, when I told Ujao, well, you should ask that question to the scholars about them, or who's done the work, where's the work? And he said, we have. And I pointed out that, I'd like to see that. I cannot take what you said for face value. Now, Uja asked the question, you have to have a degree to become a historian? You see the mentality now? Black people, as a group, we are regressing with statements like that. Yes, if someone claims to be a historian, if somebody says a historian, he should have some credentials in the field of history. Now, some people like to, well, who the first school, the first teacher, what degree did I have? Hey, 2022, okay? And that's a Gregorian calendar. We have a lot of history before the supposed birth of Yeshua Christos. Wait, 1 second, 1 second. So this is the type of question that you get. You have to have a degree to become a historian. And of course, he started talking about names of people that worked in linguistics who don't have a degree. That's the last result that they have. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I asked Huja, have you done historical comparative work yourself? He replied, not on this topic. I'm curious, on what topic did he do any historical comparative work? And can we see the work? And has it been peer reviewed? Because if it has not been peer reviewed, anybody and their mama can write something and claim to have done some work. But if it's not peer reviewed, or at least recognized, accepted, or validated by some scholars in the field, then uh, what what how good is it? How worthy is it of our time and money? How many PhDs have you ever seen publicly agreeing with their claims? Then there's the fact that Uja kept saying, I'm not running, I'm here. Well, it's all good that you're here, but if you just don't answer the questions and I have to ask the questions 5 to 10 times and I still don't get an answer, I mean, wait, hold on. Hold on. Sorry, that troublemaker who likes to make her presence known. So, So he kept saying, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. But if you're here and you don't answer the questions, how good is it? Now, when I asked Huja, what is the color of the skin? What is the color of the skin of Wesley Snipes? He replied, I don't know. So I don't think I need to add commentary to that. He has good eyesight for everything on the planet Earth, but he doesn't know the color of the skin. Later on, he used the term brown. So, like somebody said in the chat, we are looking forward for the sequel to Brown Panther, not Black Panther, but Brown Panther, Wakanda Forever. Somebody wrote in the chat when I had a discussion with Uja. Somebody wrote this that way. And for the record, what I'm saying is this: I'm not really used to pronouncing profanities. I'm not perfect. I happen to curse in my life, but I try to show a good example. So, just for the record, Asar, him, all fake. I'm not using the HO term. Just wanted to clear that up. At one point, Wuja said, Asar Imka, can you help me? That's noteworthy. When I told Uja, you only plagiarized James P. Allen because Asar contrary to Asar Imhotep, who plagiarized several authors, several books in several different languages, Uja will only plagiarize one author. All right. And noteworthy as well, Ujao owned up to it. He owned up to it. And I heard he apologized for it, even though he labeled it soft plagiarism. You know, they always have to come with something that's going to be that's they always try to they always come with some extenuating circumstances. They always come with some things that's going to lessen the severity of their act or their claims. But he has still owned up to it. I have yet to hear. Has anybody heard or saw him owning up to his plagiarism? Now, just for all purposes, because people like to MCs act like they don't know, I'm going to share the plagiarism that Asar Imhotep did, because MCs act like they don't know. Some people come here and try to make fun of you and disrespect you, and they are following plagiarizers. That's the world upside down. It's the world upside down. Fais attention. Fais attention. Fais attention. Je te préviens. Je te préviens. Fais attention. Je te préviens. Fais attention. Okay. I'm gonna have to put somebody on timeout. Somebody gonna get hurt. Somebody gonna get hurt real bad. For those who know, what's his name? Russell Peters. Somebody gonna get hurt real bad. Leaving you with that hope. Who's that somebody? So here in the chat, you have the link. Sahimotep, serial plagiarizer. Is there due diligence in Pan African scholarship? Now, I won't be much longer with my notes. At one point, because I have to ask questions, I gotta have, I got to have, I'm sorry, I got to ask questions so many times. At one point, I said, yes or no. And he replied, it's not yes or no. Then he said, I haven't seen any work, you know, and indeed, he was being disingenuous. All I ask is today, does he have any peer review work? Just, I mean, it's okay. But he said the brother has been in communications with some linguists. So what? Even if he's been in communication with Joe Biden, even if he's been in communication with Barack Obama, what difference does it make? But with the groupies, you know, like the groupie moderators, you know what I'm saying? They feel somehow important because they are moderating on some YouTube live streams, but mind you, they don't have any content and they don't come on platform to engage in the discussion, you know. But then they leave sleek comments. They are not advancing any conversation. Just like Batty Garfield is not advancing jack. He's reading blogs and articles and books about from Christian apologists mainly. So he's just reading theological stories, and that's why most of the time on his channel he has like 8 people, and they are the one who really make they are the one who are making the conversation and discussing the issues. And like I've said months ago, when Garfield is engaging in discussion with somebody and they don't agree, Garfield barely answers any question, and he asks 10,000 questions until the person doesn't have an answer. And eventually, if he feels too challenged, he will block the person, he will kick out the person, he will mute the person. How is it that in 2022 we have? Oh, I know why. I know how. I know how. No, it's okay. But everybody's free to do what they want on their channel because they went on some channels that have a large audience, and now they feel like they are holding weight because we have some pseudos who say that the hieroglyphic sign of the arm means Allah, and they get some time there. So later on, I said I will never interview a plagiarizer, and I added unless he owns up to it. And after that, Uja tried to flip it as if I don't want to talk to Osar, but I want to clarify that if he wants to talk, he's free to do so. But he's gonna grandstand. So I don't want everybody to feel when I say interviewing is not the same thing. I'm not gonna have a live stream and the title will be interviewing Asar Imhotep about his upcoming work or whatever. No, it's not like that. If he wants to holler, he can holler. If he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to. But the group should be refrain from acting like somebody doesn't want to talk to him. Though, which I would say, oh, you refuse to talk to, and then I interjected, I refuse to talk to someone who's done the worst thing in academia. But I've used that term refuse to talk, but I meant like interview. Because after that, we just said you won't allow or saw on your channel. So I want to clarify that, you know. And I'm gonna see from the comments if we have some Asar Imhotep groupies. And when I asked him about, and I played the audio, and I'm gonna play it again just for the people who arrived recently. This is what I played.
The god Allah is an indigenous African god.
For those who want to have the full context in the links that I've shared, you will hear that. And Uja said that's not what Asar meant. And he used the word soundbite, which is something that a lot of disingenuous people like to say. But my response is the same. Whenever somebody claims, and if you hear somebody saying that I'm taking people out of context, and tell them, please let me hear it in context. And then you don't hear from them. They just talk. But I'm showing and proving. That's direct quotation. When you play the person, it says something. If it's inconvenient to him, he should be mad at himself. So that's my little commentary that I had. Now, let me go through the comments. We have Abambo Visuals who wrote, Mboli's work has been shown to be flawed. He has the SESU team actually accounted for the fact that they have been leaning on a flawed. No, I'm sorry. Has the SESU team actually accounted for the fact that they have been leaning on a flawed model? Well, I want people to see now. There's a mention of the Seshu team, but the authors of the book, the pamphlet, which is just their notes for which they haven't done the work, and I want you to hear that, brothers and sisters.
And we didn't even really, matter of fact, I didn't even really make any arguments in the text about Kemet other than laying down our ultimate meaning for it. I didn't make the argument for the word Kemet and showing how I came to the conclusion.
You heard it from the horse's mouth. And this guy had the nerve to say publicly that Dr. Sandro Caposcici, PhD in linguistics, couldn't hold his own in a conversation with Mboli, with Jean Claude Mboli. You know, it's amazing how those guys are informing us about so many things behind the so many things behind the scenes, but they never show and prove. Just like Asar Imhotep, who has stated publicly, I've replayed that. I've played the excerpt. He stated that he met someone from Senegal, and that person told him that the vocabulary that Diop used is a vocabulary like from the village. It's not the vocabulary used in the city. And basically, Simon Fek was saying that the vocabulary that Diop used in the Wolof language has not been verified. Nerves, the nerves. But when it's Jean Claude Mboli, who is not a linguist, he's gonna go as far. You see how bad we just sounded defending Asar Imhotep? Now listen, Asar Imhotep sounding extremely bad trying to defend Mboli. Listen, you have to listen to this.
Not only that, but he hasn't done a reconstruction for Middle Egyptian.
I understand.
And I'm saying that that is an incorrect and it's not a very good order of operations. So you're going to.
I don't see a reconstruction of Yoruba in your work or Akan.
How would I reconstruct Yoruba and it's spoken right now? How does that make any sense to you?
Because that's my point.
It's spoken right now. And what I did is I used IPA because Yoruba has its own orthographic system.
It's a convention for sounds. These are all symbols. That's the whole point of writing. They're just symbols to represent sounds. We understand that. The issue is here is that it's not attested in terms of a living.
So this is what I'm hearing as a lack of understanding. What you just said, you said I didn't reconstruct Yoruba. I wouldn't need to reconstruct Yoruba.
If
I wouldn't need to reconstruct Akan. He doesn't need to reconstruct Somali. He also doesn't need to reconstruct Hausa. But what he does need to reconstruct is the one that I'm saying that he did not reconstruct.
Here's the question.
Please, just hold on 1 second because
I understand. Believe me, I understand what you're saying. I'm asking you this.
Then let me make this last point, please. Just let me make this last point. So you're saying that I didn't reconstruct a language that is attested right now. You don't reconstruct languages that are attested right now. You write them down.
And what I'm at it is going to be 18 seconds only. Here's a Sahimo fake stated that he studied physics and linguistics formally.
Between a law in linguistics and a law, for example, physics, is that with a law.
Are you a physicist? Do you study physics, for example?
I do study physics and I study science. And so,
okay. Have you studied linguistics formally?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes, I have. So back to the comment. Fais attention, Merut. Fais attention. Tu fais trop de bruit, Merut. Fais attention. So here there's a mention of the Seshu team. The authors of the book, they are called, what is it? Shemsu Hor, something like that. So it's basically three people: Asar Imhotep, Jao Irimaat, and Sanjeri Ankra. But most people will say Sanjeri. And Sanjeri is very smart. I think Sanjeri was tricked into appearing with the other two. Um, some people can be very convincing and deceiving. But you notice that Sanjeri is not in this discussion. Sanjeri knows better. All right. Now, let me continue with the comments. This is Love Me Fro stating that she's from Cali. Abambo Visuals wrote, Mboli's work has been shown to be flawed. Oh, it's the same comment actually. Now, Love Me for wrote, Yep, we were hanging out at HOK 2010. George Jackson wrote, Law, that's right, ma take down all them fakes. George wrote, all them fake New York dudes. No, there's good and bad everywhere. It's not a New York thing. Now, Christopher Withers wrote, Bro, can we just read some pieces? Steely, Ostraka, Books of the Dead, and Papyrus. This is becoming old. Let's flex with our reading skills. Well, Christopher Withers, when I go through Meta Nature, when I go through original artifact, I have like maybe 5 people on the stream. Now I have 20. I prefer to go through the artifacts from the museums in different countries that I have. But if I'm just keep on gonna have 5 people and do like 2 3 hour live stream, not a single donation, I'm not being encouraged to do that. Shh, attention, Merod. So if you know some people who want to go through all these things that you mentioned, please tell them to come and let's show to the world that we have a community, at least an online community, that's willing to deal with the Medunecher, with Kemet. And when those lames are disrespecting Kemet, I would like to hear you speak as well. Because if you and anybody else, and please understand, I don't have anything against you, I'm addressing what you're saying and anybody else who think like you. And I'm thanking you for giving me your opinion. I value your opinion. So thank you for that opinion. I'm not angry at all. But it's like when the sisters were telling me, this Asiatic dude that we used to have, uh they told me, we'll be tired, brother. But I was like, but I want to let people speak even if I don't agree. But now I regret, because I used to have more sisters on the panel, but they were really tired and irritated with the Asiatic dude who will actually on a regular basis claim that there's certain quotes on some literature, and most of the time I think one time something that he stated was mentioned in the quote that he told us about. All the other time we'll go to the book, to the PDF, to the article, and he will not say what he stated. So honestly, I regret because ultimately later on I actually blocked that guy because he was being disingenuous and acting like I was lying about Dr. Wesley Muhammad challenging me to a debate. And that's because he's a NOI member as well. But even if you are an NOI member, you don't have to lie to defend somebody, you know. So by all means, brothers and sisters, manifest yourselves. If you want me to prioritize going through and that's why I decided to stop. I still have those pictures and videos as well from the museums, but you notice I stopped uploading them because the videos from the museums, I upload them, I get 30, 40 views, and I feel like it's a waste because it costs me a lot of money to travel abroad and pay for the hotel and pay for the fee for the museum and pay for the food, and I travel with my lady and my daughter. My son is like, he's living with his mother and I have him every other weekend. Now I haven't seen him for months. She's a crazy Pan African woman. Some people are going to feel, oh, that's how you feel some type of way. But Pan Africans, no, it's not the sole reason. Because Pan Africans defend rapists and pedophiles. But so unfortunately, I don't see my son as often as I'm supposed to. And it's a shame. So those travels, I do it mainly with my lady and my daughter. When my son will grow and he'll be able to, take the public transportation by himself, then we'll spend all the time in the world, because unfortunately I have to go through his mother to see him. And if but I don't want this to go to another conversation. I was just clarifying because I have two children. So um I spend the money for the hotel, for the food, for the travel, and then when I upload it, I get 30, 40 views. So I kept it on hold, the videos and the pictures that I was using to read some artifacts, some Medu nature, some hieroglyphic from the artifacts. And I figured when there will be more people interested in the Medu nature, then I would start doing that again. And I really would love to do that. So thank you for that message. I can't wait to do that. But if I have just 5 people, I'm not gonna do that on a regular basis. I'm not gonna do that at all. I'm gonna wait till there's more people. You know. But the lames who tell you that Allah is in the Egyptian text, when they live stream, they have, you know, well, not really on their channel. The session they're probably like, I don't know, 30 people, maybe 20 people. Uh, I mean, Batty Garfield anyway. He he's a Christian apologist, so he has the Christians and the Abrahamic believers at whole. Um, but mainly the people who urinate on traditional African ways of life. They have so many people, you know. So how many times do I say? Like, how many likes do I have? For example, let me have a look. 11 likes. I have only 11 likes, brothers and sisters. If you go to my videos, all my recent videos, look how many comments there are. Very few. So let's change the game. Take the habit of hitting the like button. Take the habit of leaving a comment, even if it's one word. It helps with the algorithm. You know, let's build this platform. And I don't care about the groupies and the lames. I don't need them. I don't want them. I want people who are thorough, people who know where they stand. You understand what I'm saying? So thank you very much for your comment. I really hope that I didn't sound like I was having a go at you, like they say in England. It's having a go at me. I hope that you will not take it the wrong way, brother Christopher. It's not directed at you. It's actually directed at everybody. You know, there's many people who are there on a regular basis when I'm doing live streams. They never leave any comment, and it doesn't cost a thing, brothers and sisters, to leave a comment. We have 18 people online now. I understand. There's a fair bit of there's some repairing that, some haters. Bati Garfield, Asar Imhotep, all the lames, all the liars, all the scammers. People who tell you they have degrees and they can't show you the degrees. But it's not all of them. It's not all of them. You know. So George Jackson wrote, Tamika is a groupie. Love Me Fro wrote, pull up. Now, American Dream is in a place to be. Uh, George Jackson wrote, they fake, they soft, and with the Rainbow Group. George Jackson is saying that she affect Garfield's karma. Now, Imhotep 360 wrote, so true, Shaka. Ad hominems is their modus operandi. Yes. And for groupies of the Riparianites to go at you, hey, it comes with the territory. But when Batishan said that I was writing somebody, that I was on somebody's NUTS, that's why ever since I've been nicknaming him Batishan. because he was a moderator. Actually, I don't even see him that much, but anyway, when you're a moderator on the channel, you should have the least some sort of decorum. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Imhotep 360 wrote, notice they mention nothing about the substance of the argument presented, yet they act as if they are scholars. Love Me for wrote, the books were found to have plagiarism. Yeah, but that's all good. The group is not going to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, when I asked Wuja, if he's cool with plagiarism, you notice he didn't have any answer because he plagiarized himself. So. Now, George Jackson wrote, Garfield mad, he a scammer. Him and well, I don't know about Sarnetta being a scammer. I really don't know about that. So somebody wants to present some information regarding that claim, then feel free to do so. We have to be careful when we make accusations, you know. So yes. Now due diligence wrote, it's not black. I think he wrote that while I was playing the audio. So feel free due diligence to elaborate on that or get on the platform if you want. Oh, we have somebody who left who made a super chat. Who is it? I cannot see, but I will go through the comments so it would appear. Okay. Okay. We have Mr. Trade Day 90 who wrote, um, obviously he means, do you agree? Do you agree that Kemet is related to Bantu? Correct? I wouldn't say I agree. That's not my claim. And that's another thing as well. At one point, Asar Imhotep was arguing that either Bantu or Niger Congo, some Bantu or Niger Congo language or languages, is closer to the Meta Nature than the Coptic. There's a fair bit of claims he used to make he's no longer making. And he doesn't even have the integrity of saying, well, I was wrong about that. You know, if you listen to this guy, you would dance for days, you know. But he has noticed that he has groupies that will follow him no matter what he does, no matter what he says, you know. Now, Chris Johnson wrote, how do these plagiarizers continue to get platforms and audiences? It's mind blowing to me. Well, if we look closely, the Riparianites have their channel where one guy does most of the talking. The live stream can last 10 hours. One guy would have spoken for like 8 hours. But they are cool with Batty Garfield, and Batty Garfield, as lame as he is, because he usually has a fair bit of people, like 8 people, 10 people on the panel, and they are the one who are actually making the content. And that's when he's not uploading Sanetta's videos, which he does less now, but before, and people can just go back. And eventually he will probably, if he hears me say that, he'll probably delete those videos. But for a while, he would just re-upload Sanetta's whole live streams, entire live streams. And that's how he got so many regular followers. So as lame as Batigafia is, when he live streams, he has about 100 people in attendance. When he used to do his credit repair, he will have some sort of email blast thing, So a lot of people join his email. When you tell people, you can earn money because they used to do the economic stuff, there's every now and then they talk about economy, and oh, I can repair your credit, then people like stuff like that. My financial situation can improve thanks to this brother. So they will sign on. And most likely, all these contacts that he had, he managed to he managed to build his platform with those contacts, So he has about 100 people in attendance sometimes, you know, and he pays people to go on his platform. I don't know if he pays the black people, but he paid some white people anyway. So Christopher Withers wrote, "Set it up, I will be there." All right, but brother, I need more people. I need more people. I'm gonna play a little some, and then we'll continue to go through the comments. So which one will I play this time? Well, I'll play that same one. I like that one. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody has to be comedic. It's a matter of choice,
Hey, I
So
want to jump in right here.
yeah, feel free, brother.
Okay, I want to jump in and just say uh, something about you, Shaka, that I noticed, and I'm quite sure everybody else noticed it too. The way that they kind of bounce off of you. That's a good way to put it. Almost kind of shy away. Want to keep you quiet to a certain degree, especially after you told me about, well, not just me, all of us, of listening to you, how maybe they had you in the back, you know, waiting for 40 minutes before you can make a comment, putting you off certain people's stages where they have their show, putting you off 2 and 3 times. I heard that said. That tells me something about an individual, and that'll make me take notice of them anyway and examine them to see what is it about them that they don't want to be bothered with. There's some stuff went on last night on Smash Show, and it's a dude called Waza. I'm quite sure they know him better than me, but Waza, he's kind of a comical fella, and but he got some smarts to him, but he don't know when to make his comment and then step back and wait, and just listen some for a while. He wants to get in there and just rough and tough it out and don't want to listen to somebody else. And that I'm not saying you that way now, but I was just looking at Waza last night, and they had to put him in the back or just put him off the show or whatever, because he just kept jumping in there too much, and people would be trying to talk and he just interject and walk all on people and just get in the conversation and maybe even be talking about something else instead of what the subject was. But back to you, Shaka. You're similar to Waza to a certain degree, and I think we all have to have some aggressiveness to us. We have to be aggressive when the time is right. Don't get me wrong, but it's time. At certain times, we have to be humble and we have to stand back and listen. And like I do, and I've always been that way. When you see somebody quiet, this is something I learned over the years. When you see them quiet, they're either just out the loop completely, or they are a type of individual trying to see what's going on. And that's how I am. I do, and I can speak when the time is right, especially when I feel like it's necessary. And especially at my time and age now, I'm more the type to keep you in line or maybe keep you directed right. And I think that's the elder's job. Of course, the elders should have more intelligent and just more knowledge on things than the youngsters coming up, because I used to have them tell me back in the day, man, where you going already? And I'm been there. I used to think about that until I figured it out. And and these elders, they've been through stuff that you're getting ready to go through. And I don't know about all of the knowledge that you got, Shaka, but you ain't just talking the talk. You talking something that makes sense if it's talking about a subject or an individual that might be, like you say, buck dancing or, backing up, trying to two-step or side-step, or however anybody that understands this want to see it. You'll bring it right out to light. And that's a good thing, especially when you teaching the people wrong, and you're not bringing them the truth. All this, you know, dancing around in circles and stuff. You can't get a hold and a grip on things when you got people doing that.
Dancing around in circles, and that's what we see lately. And just for people's information, here's Bati Garfield claiming that he has a PhD. My mistake. My apologies. That he has a bachelor's degree in history.
So,
Don't
but
talk
why
about
is
the
the Hebrew?
NOI. I don't talk about the NOI, but I talk about the Black Hebrew Israelites because, all right, my mom is a history teacher. I
Okay.
love history. I have a bachelor's degree in history.
Okay.
So history is nothing new to me. That's what I do.
All right, so you heard it for the record. And when he came on my platform, when Bati Garfield came on my platform, he didn't have all that smoke, you know, this in Egyptomaniacs, as he calls them. This is what he said when he came on my platform.
Kemet is the greatest empire in history. You don't need to compare. If anybody want to compare, like, we trying to get to Kemet level. Kemet is number one. So we comparing it to other religions is basically saying, hey, we could compare with them. No, we got 3,000 years of documented history. Show me a culture that could show you that. Sumer can't do it. Mesopotamia can't do it. Assyria can't do it. Persia can't do it. The Greeks can't do it.
I was like, man, what a dichotomy. So, Talk Freak Ron, do you believe ancient Egyptian was a Bantu language? As Asar Imhotep does? No, I don't believe it was a Bantu language. But it's amazing how these guys false. Brothers and sisters, if you don't want to take my word for anything that I'm saying regarding history or languages, I'm fine with that. If you tell me that you prefer to listen to scholars, to PhDs, I'm fine with that, you know. Because I'm seeing more and more often people who listen to individuals without any credentials in the field, who are not recognized by people in the field, who are not supported by people in the field. Because once again, how many PhDs have you seen agreeing with the claims of the Riparianites? So now it's a shame, but it is what it is. And it's nothing against you, Tech Freak. But another thing also, I almost forgot. I'm used to those tactics, those talking points from the groupies. Because the guy that I told you about, the same guy who said that Diop, he actually told me on the phone, Diop is a gorilla. And it's not the same as in the hood when you say, oh, I'm a gorilla. He's a gorilla. Like he's a beast. Like he's a strong person. No, it really meant like gorilla, like the ape. Like basically, he used the term gorilla because like you will be too mild if you just said monkey, you know. So that guy who is very respected and appreciated in the French speaking world, similar to what to Farrakhan, you know, not the same amount of followers, but he was actually a member of the Nation of Islam. I don't know if he still is. So people who teach that Africans are living the jungle life and Africans are not civilized, you know, that's what people like to follow, you know. And many people who follow these dudes don't even know that they teach that, you know. Some who are members might not know. They're supposed to know because they learn the quote unquote lessons by heart. But anyway, his groupies used to say, whatever you will criticize the dude or not agree with the dude, you're jealous, you're bitter. Now, Simon Fake and his groupies, particularly his groupies, love to say, "Oh, well, you know, you're not pulling up. You don't know it. You have another way, whatever, whatever." And when we address their claims, "Oh, all you do is talk about us all." You know, that's their game they're doing. But remember that groupies are groupies. Like I used to say years ago, little homies are little homies. Anybody that's anonymous, unidentified, don't pay too much mind, you know. But when I see several of those people with the same narrative, I'm like, okay, that's the whole thing. That's the whole movement of the Riparianites. Now, Trey, thank you for calling in, but please use a webcam. It is the requirement. So you can use a smartphone if you want. You can use a tablet, but my requirement is for people to use a webcam. So please do not be offended. It's nothing against you. It's not personal. You know, brothers and sisters here, you see, I've put link to get on the panel, and in parentheses, you must show your face. Otherwise, just use the chat. Now, for those who wonder, well, how come we have some people who didn't have webcam? We know who they are. They have shown their face before on my platform, and other platforms as well. So I have made exceptions in the past, indeed, because I knew who those people were. So please, I would really love to hear what you have to say, Trey. Um, but just feel free to use a webcam. Now, I went through all the comments, so I'm receiving a private message. Yo, yeah, okay. Yeah, I see you. I mean, I think you can hear me anyway. But please use a webcam. So I can't right now at work. I understand, but whenever, at any other time, feel free. So should I wrap it up now, brothers and sisters? Because anyway, it's going to be in how many hours now? It's going to be 7. It's going to be in 4 hours. Yes, in 4 hours, I will have the discussion with GFX. Nobody wants to come on the platform to say hello, to say what's up. I would like to close out my live stream with somebody getting on the platform and saying hello, saying what's up. I would really like that, if possible. So I'm going to wait, a few minutes to see if that can happen. You know, but it shows how strong the Abrahamic movements are, because no matter how lame people can be, they will have followers and supporters. It's like my Twitter account in America, people use Twitter a lot. And I've noticed that people just don't take the habit of subscribing to my Twitter channel, because when I go live, most of the time, I um, I share it on Twitter. But I know that some people don't want to be associated with me. Sometimes because I'm not Abrahamic, and sometimes because they are cool or afraid of lames and plagiarizers. Big Road, I'm sure him or fake is asking for volunteers to teach. To teach? Today at 2 p.m. No, it's not 2 p.m. EST. It's 5 p.m. EST, but it's 2 p.m. Los Angeles time. Do they call it Pacific time in Los Angeles? Los Angeles time. How do they call the Los Angeles time? Oh no, that's a newspaper. So Los Angeles time. The time zone, of course, I'm talking about. Yeah, apparently they call it Pacific Daylight Time. I don't know if there's a difference between Pacific Daylight Time and Pacific Standard Time. PDT, PST, you know. So let me go back there. Yes, Pacific. Okay, I had confirmations. And we have Amun Minra Sut Atum. Greetings to you. So yes, that's what it's gonna be. 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. EST, New York time, which is 10 p.m. in London, England, and 11 p.m. Paris, France. Yes, greetings to you. Love Me For will be there. Good. Brothers and sisters, how many times do you have three dudes with a claim that goes against a whole field of scholarship, and people give them the time of the day? And Amun will also tune in. That's good. It's lovely. It's amazing. So yes, I've been dealing with their claims. Osar Car has been dealing with their claims. Smash Rockwell has been dealing with their claims. Nature Neb has been dealing with their claims. Even Reggie, we're not the best of friends as of today. We're not really on good terms, but Reggie has been dealing. And as a matter of fact, Netaneb and Reggie back in 2019, man, you know, back in 2019, they have shown the quote from the TLA when they conveniently removed something that would not suit their claims. Man. So Big is telling me to check Hemo Fake's YouTube page. By the way, for those who wonder, I still haven't received any answer from Temple University nor the how is it called again? I'm going to tell you. I have to see. It's called the Diopian Institute for Scholarly Advancement. I still haven't received any reply when I inquired about them having a plagiarizer presenting. And for someone who has been saying that Diop was wrong, that Diop did not do the work, he even said that Diop is inconsistent just before he misread some French. And it's obvious that he's not familiar with the French. And they will have him on to speak at a Diopian conference, you know. But, if I go on the fake historian, fake linguist page, well, there's nothing. What is it there to see? All right. Why do you ask me to go there? Because this is not presenting anything. Oh, he wrote he's going to teach the historical comparative method. The amazing thing is that he has in the past uh, done some crash courses in linguistics. Has anybody seen Asahimo Fake's degree in computer science? When I asked him, "Do you have a degree in linguistics?" he answered, "I have a degree in computer science, and we dealt with linguistics." So, has anybody seen that degree? Even Uja hasn't seen it. So I'm wondering who has seen it. Now we have John the Baptizer, who wrote, "You do realize Abrahamic is a metaphor for human belief system related to a cosmic interpretation started in Kemet Ma'at, Brother Cypher, Field, and Greed Teacher." John the Baptizer, can you get on the platform, please? Is it possible? If you don't mind using a webcam? Because I don't see how the Abrahamic belief system, you wrote human belief system. I don't see how Abrahamic belief system started in Kemet. I don't see that. I don't see that. So Islam started in Kemet. I'm sure we both agree that Islam is an Abrahamic belief system. Did Islam start in Kemet, brother? Mr. Trady 90 is asking, why was it not Bantu? I encourage you, brother, to go on a search engine and type in university and linguistics and look at the names of any linguist and ask them that question. They will be able to explain better than I. I'm not a linguist. I have never claimed to be. You know, so the Medu Neter is not in the same family as the Bantu languages. Now, if you want to know why in details, the linguist will be more than happy. You know. Now, John the Baptizer wrote, "I will catch up with you on another time on this matter." Yeah, anytime. Now, Mr. Trade wrote, UNESCO agreed that Proto-Egyptian and Proto-Bantu were the same. I don't even know what Proto-Egyptian is, and I don't know what Proto-Bantu is. Now, if they agree that it is the same, can you direct us to this quote? And that's interesting to know. But whenever you hear proto about languages, it's like Wesley Muhammad who talks about, the Proto-Semitic era. And from the Proto-Semitic era, we get Allah, we get Elohim, we get Ra. And he says that Ra is Allah. He said that Enki is Allah, you know. So, brothers and sisters, whenever you see proto before a language or a language family, that's way back in the days. And Mr. Trader wrote, then you should disprove the countless examples that Asar presents. There we go. What now? Please call him right now. Call Asar, tell him, come in here and holler at Shaka. Because I don't know why we have so many representatives acting like the dude is body, acting like the dude wants to smoke and is ready, but the dude is never there. So Asar, okay, please show us Asar showing that Bantu and Kemet were the same. But now I don't know. You probably made a mistake. Maybe you meant Medu nature because you're talking about a language and then you're talking about a country. You know, Chuck Morgan, how you doing, brother? Enki bin Allah was one of the dumbest thing I've heard from that guy. And for the benefit of the court, some people might think, oh, he's making that up. Shaka, that guy in France, he's making that up. He's a hater. He takes sound bites. That's what he does. So I'm going to show, like I've shown before. You know the saying, I can show you better than I can tell you. Oh, snap. It's not a claim. It's not an allegation. Now, Wesley Muhammad teaches that the supreme Canaanite god El is Allah. And you see here, wrote the black god. Figure 23. That's from his comic book or science fiction book, Black Arabia and the African Origin of Islam. Page 87. And page 108, in other words, an Enki is Allah. Dr. Wesley Muhammad, PhD in Islamic studies or Near Eastern study. You can ask him, to be specific. And you can see what Britannica says about the Sumerian deity Enki. So that was just for the record. It was a quick one. You have the page, you have the book. I don't need to go further than that. You know what I'm saying? So Mr. Trader wrote, because the Africans themselves say they come from Kemet. Listen, man, you can go to many groups of people. Some will tell you, we descend from the stars, we descend from angels. That doesn't matter much in scholarship what people say, especially when we're talking about languages. I mean, them saying that they come from Kemet, what does it have to do with the linguistic analysis? But it's funny though, because you keep typing, but remember here, you telling me that I'm supposed to disprove the countless examples. Where are the examples? Show us the example at least. Can you do that? Do you have the examples? I see that the Neb is connecting right now. There it is. Hotep sent E.
Hotep, brother.
How you doing, brother?
Man, fine. Just want to call in and tell you, man, I am proud of what you're doing, man.
Do I, Seni? Thank you, Sen.
And you and Brother Smash and a lot of other brothers, Asar Imhotep, doing with this, and y'all standing up, and it's causing other people in America, blacks in America, and other people to have self-defense for themselves and things of that nature. So just wanted to call in and tell you, give my respects, and I support what you do.
Thank you so much,
I'm gonna get around to donating, brother, but I've been, busy and
Wait.
whatever. But I'm gonna get around to it. But You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's what
Thank
I
you.
do, man. Sometimes I take a little time to get
Thank
it
you,
done,
brother.
but
Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. And being in the field, studying in the field, I'm happy about it. And they have, the like the handbook, and
mm,
they let it be known like plagiarism is a no-no. They
right,
let it be known from the get-go.
right,
And I heard you talking about the different quotation style. They want us to
yeah,
go by the Harvard quotation style, but there are others as well.
okay,
And in the some of the handbook, um, introducing us to the tools, we have access to the JSTOR,
oh, just
uh,
store, yeah,
yeah, and Gestor,
mm-hmm.
and some other also library as well. Like for example, James P. Allen, we know we have access to it. Like it's not the full books like by chapters, but all the book is available. And the one of the doctor in Egyptology, that teaches Egyptology anyway. He has a um the TLA is explaining us how to use the TLA. So I was like, all right, my brothers in America, they let me know about the TLA, and here I am
Right,
in the field. That's the tool that they're using. You know what I'm saying? So all this make me think about my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Makes me think about Nev Smash or Simon. I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's good. But I'm just starting now, so I'm doing my thing on the low.
right,
But and me knowing that you're doing the same thing, learning formally in the field, I'm happy about that. I'm very happy.
yeah. So I'm happy that you're going through that, and you're gonna be a great Egyptologist. Um, you already have discipline to deal with people. I know I'm still learning that aspect, but you're gonna grow and be very excellent, and
Thank you.
you're gonna know about chronology. And when you
Yes.
come back, I can't wait till you explain Egyptian chronology, because that's an issue. With so now people are trying to say that we are punishing Ujawu and Asar, and they are not scientific, so we should do that. I disagree. They were kept saying that their books and works were scientific.
Hmm.
When me and Baba Reggie and others, Dr. Ricchetti, others tried to tell them, even I had messages from Dr. Mario Beatty. Dr. Mario Beatty said he had a conversation with Brother Asar, and it doesn't work. None of that stuff. Remember, I told you, even if whatever y'all doing, you can do it collectively, it won't work. None
Hmm.
of it will work. It won't. It's like a cult like following. It's
Yes.
borderline like Z York, but that was the dangers for me, for guys like that to get in the field. I mean, into the community, because I'd rather have a guy like yourself, myself, et cetera,
Chuck
who,
Morgan, is studying also
yeah, Bob,
formally.
yeah, I call him Baba Chuck because he older than both of us.
All right. All right.
Yeah, he studied Sumerian formally in the field.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be trying to teach the people how to write and things like that. That's what I was trying to say, is that once I learned how to write, I wanted other black people to learn how to write. Even if I don't agree with your riparian stance, at least have it scientific so we can do battle in a scientific arena, because that
Mm-hmm.
look good among black people. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So this is why I wanted our arguments not on YouTube, but on a scientific arena, so the world can watch how intelligent we are and how we debate.
Mm-hmm.
That was my initial point of having peer review, a peer review process, which you're gonna definitely go through yourself now. You may publish about 20 papers about the time you finish your courses in your university studies. But the peer review process helps situations like that. Whereas though you're writing a paper on Kemet, you saying Kemet means riparian land. Okay, that's your claim. Even if your hypothesis is not accurate, your paper have to be written correctly. It has to
Mm-hmm.
be cited correctly. This is what we want to teach black people. We want to teach black people that you can have your own voices of opinion. But
Mm-hmm.
I felt offended when Asar went to the Jobs conference, and yet every expert said his work was deemed pseudo linguistics. Wikipedia said his work is pseudo linguistics. he still goes to the joke. He goes to the Job's conference. When he goes to the Job's conference, he tried to attack Job on a level of academia, and he's not yet. And
Mm.
Temple University allowed that. I couldn't understand it, and I said, I know what it was. So I think Son Jetty goes to Temple University, I believe.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. I didn't know which university he went to, but
Yes, Temple.
oh, it was Temple. Okay, because he studied biology, and you know, I mean, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Merout, 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 fais attention. Fais attention, Merout. I'm sorry, my daughter is just getting on my nerve. Um, yeah, actually, out of curiosity, I asked them, may I ask who allowed that? You know what I'm saying? So I wrote both to Temple University and the Open Institute for scholarly advancement. I think it is DISA, and to my surprise, on his own channel, Saw has the time when he went for the 30th conference, because now it's
Yeah.
going to be the 34th.
I
And
did work on that.
yeah, the title of his presentation is like, at the end he says, the Diop dash Obenga hypothesis.
Yes.
Right
Yes.
from the title, he's addressing it like it's a hypothesis. I'm like, the nerves. And I want to say this for the record. I think I've said it before. If a SAR would take formal training
Yes.
in Egyptology or linguistics, he
Correct.
will probably do well.
He will.
Yeah, because he's a great imitator. He's
Yes.
observing people. He's imitating how they speak, the vocabulary they use, the terms, the jargon
Mhm.
of the field that he's addressing. So if he does the same imitation with the rules of the field, then he can only do great. He can only do
Right.
great. But like Smash said, Smash was it Smash? But somebody said he was told that's not the way to go, and he was like, okay, f the scholars, I'm gonna do my thing anyway. That's his mojo now.
Yes, he was told that early on. I was one of the first to tell him about it, that scholars, Dr. Ricchetti, disagrees with you. Then he wrote, I felt disrespected because he did wrote that Dr. Ricchetti is wrong. You talking about someone who taught thousands of people Medu Neter in America. So I'm like, okay, you disrespect my teacher. I asked my teacher said, yes, I think you should, what I mean? And then that's when I start letting things out publicly. It, is it the things that was being said about Dr. Cambone, things about Dr. Theophile Benga, a joke, etc. And then I'm gonna show this slide. I'm about to show
Yes.
a slide where
Mm,
I'm about to share it now. I ain't gonna I'm trying to get better at speaking, so let me
mm.
get straight to the point. Let's see.
One thing that's funny is when I hear you and Unc. I mean, you both for be more. Like, why is it you always going at it like that?
No, I be thinking that he be talking, he talk real like Baltimore real, he talk Baltimore, so it's just a Baltimore thing. It's not nothing. Uh, you can't set rules here. I want to establish that just because Unc say something
Mm,
doesn't mean anything to Netanyahu. I just want to make that clear because that's what happens in this community. Community is that when people of authority says something and they take that in America. I don't know if it's like that where you're from, but when somebody have power and authority, they say something that trumps science. And I'm trying to make it clear. I don't care what you say. This don't have nothing to do with personality worship. What's personal about you, what you personally feel doesn't matter to Netanyahu.
mm,
What I'm being trained in school is to be unbiased. So if
mm,
we're going to talk about Afroasiatic, don't talk about Afroasiatic as if it's already Afrodicted, because that's not what we learn in school. So that's not fair. So you'll come into the black community teaching as if Afro-Asiatic is fully scientific. That's false. And I don't care who agree. I don't care if you're from Baltimore. I don't care if you from my own household. If you're relaying inaccurate information, I'm gonna say something. But it was a misunderstanding on my end about that situation or whatever. It's not. It don't be nothing to me. A lot of people take these disagreements on YouTube and they take it far. But me and Unc, I always disagree with Unc. So it's not nothing new. Me and Unc don't agree. I don't agree with him on anything. I give him respect for as introducing me to peer-reviewed data when I was in my street phase of life and things of that nature. But I still had knowledge of self. I still was trained in Dr. Ricchetti. I still was in Dr. Ricchetti's school and things of that nature. So, no, it's not nothing personal with me and that brother. It's just I don't care what this brother is saying when I have peer-reviewed data. I don't care what you are saying when I have peer-reviewed data.
Yeah.
If it's peer-reviewed data, then to change that data, you will have to do the work to change it. So this is what I was saying about Proto-Bantu, is that people are saying Mboli made that up. Juan Claude Mboli made up in his book, he stated that why would black people call themselves black? So now you have Mboli making that statement in his book, and I have the page number, I have exactly where it's at. Now the whole community, see, this is what I was telling you about that in America. They follow the imitators and things of that nature, then they start saying everything they say. So the saying is, why would blacks call themselves black when everybody was black in Africa, as if everybody's of the same shade of black? That's what they're saying. So I showed Proto-Bantu reconstructions. Everyone knows I'm in school for linguistics, so I'm not going to give you nothing that is not peer-reviewed already. So the Bantu Lexical Reconstructions 3 is one of the top research on Bantu linguistics, starting from the 19th century to the day to this date. It's a collection of 19th century works. And in that work of reconstructions, it says that the Bantu people, Bantu speakers, was describing themselves as black. So now is the question is this: why? The question shouldn't be why would? The question is they already did. Now the next question is, why did they describe themselves as black? See, so that's the thing, is that people are saying that they're not describing themselves. They showing a few African tribes, but when we go to the linguistic reconstruction, which has nothing to do with genetics have nothing to do with Egyptology. Genetics had nothing to do with linguistics. These are two different fields that must be explained in our discussions to the general public, because a person will take a genetic conversation, mix it with linguistics, then bring Egyptology in it. Now is a big ball of studios. Now is a big giant ball of
pseudo studio.
So I mean, I got respect for a lot of brothers and things of that nature, but when it comes to peer-reviewed data, man, I'm not. And also another thing, brother Ark, he's saying wrong. He is looking at the conference wrong. The 1974 UNESCO conference, which I agree with him in some aspects, but the aspect of Kemet was viewed when that was peer-reviewed. Some scholars did not agree with Joke, and some scholars did not agree with Abdallah. So it was equal to me. It wasn't no, this person won, this person got beat up, and this person. It wasn't like that. Not with the peer review I got from that debate that happened at the conference, is that it was equal. Some people agreed with Joke, some people didn't. That's science. That's this not religion. That's science. That happens. Now, what is not being explained by Unc, which I have an issue with, and is that he is not explaining where in the UNESCO conference that they agreed with Obega. That's why it's not explained. See, we don't have discussions. Not one person you find on the internet, brother, is having the discussion of the agreement that happened at the UNESCO conference. This is where unbiasedness, I want to be unbiased. So I know that there is debate on who won the Kemet part of the debate. We all know that. But why no one is discussing as Black people that they agreed with Obinga? They agreed with Obinga at the end and told us to compare Medu Neter with Black African languages.
Yes, that was a
agreed.
suggestion. Yes.
That was agreed by everybody. It was agreed by Sonaran and the other scholars. It was agreed. So that means that it's valid for us to compare Black African languages with Medu Neter. So now we can compare Black, if we can say the adjective Black and use Coptic and compare it with Black African languages. Now we can say let's try to look up the word Kemet, meaning Black people, and we can take that and look it up in Black African Coptic and then Black African languages. So us doing that, all of a sudden, nobody is acting like that wasn't valid already. It's crazy to me, and that's borderline academic dishonesty.
And brother Netanep, I don't know if you had a chance to see. I try to make the video short. Asar Imhotep reading Diop, the French part, and it's just basically totally misread it to the point of changing the meaning of the sentence. And he was just attempting to have people believe that he's familiar with the French, And I heard Mario Beatty, and I said it, and I could tell that Mario Beatty knows the French. It's obvious. But and once again, I don't want to fault him or anybody else for not being familiar with a foreign language. It's not easy to know a foreign language, but if you're not familiar with it, don't act like you're familiar with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But but he said that Diop is inconsistent. I'm like, all right. All right. So you wanted to share something, Brother Netanep?
Yeah, I'm about to share Asar Imhotep work. We already showed all of this stuff, y'all seeing now with on these channels. Me and Baba Reggie already did it.
2019.
Yeah, but Team Osiris is a timeline. Team Osiris was the first. It was a guy named Christopher Davis, not the whole team. It was Christopher Davis. See, who was a part of Team Osiris who did it. His name is Christopher Davis. All right, and he was a part of Team Osiris at that time. He the one who did it. That's his research, right? I don't think he's part of Team Osiris today, but he the one who did it. Now, Brother Christopher Davis, when he did that, Ujawu did apologize, but he tried to make up some soft plagiarism. It was accidental plagiarism and stuff like that, right? We know that it wasn't accidental plagiarism, but I forgave him because at least he acknowledged. I said, "Yo, you got to be a man to acknowledge
to
like
own
that."
up to it." Yeah, we can respect that. And Asar to this day he has not owned up to it because Ujawu plagiarized from one author and one book. Asar plagiarized from several authors, several books, and still he has yet to own up to it. But go ahead, brother.
And he did it a second time. Now, then Team Osiris. I'm telling you the history. Team Osiris then bust up Asar book. So first Team Osiris and Christopher Davis did the first book with Ujawu. The second book was Asar's series of Asar's, where Team Osiris together, showed that. And then the third, I thought he would learn his lesson. So I thought that part was, done with. He apologized for it. And then I even had the recording where he apologized at. And then Asar, and then Ujawu did it again with the Kemet book. Baba Reggie sent me the page to his book to peer review. I want people to know that if someone doesn't bring their books in a peer review process, do y'all know that y'all can freely peer review his book? See, his book is public access. You can peer review it if he didn't go through a peer review process. So we peer review his book through the expense of Dr. Red. Baba Reggie was the first who did a full analyzation of his text. He sent me some pages of his text, and I analyzed his text as far as me writing for journals. So when I looked at his text, Ujawu text, he had in-text citation problems. He plagiarized the source, and I went on Sinetta, and I got thousands of people and warned people on Sinetta. I warned people about this problem. First, I went to Ujawu himself. I said, bro, you have plagiarism issues. I went to Garfield, bro, y'all got plagiarism issues. Y'all got to check that. Before we can even debate, y'all got to check those parameters. And then when I let everyone know, they said I was stupid. They said I was crazy. So I want to, get this out there that it wasn't me who started this trouble. They called me names. I still had the screenshots. I had the screenshots of Son Jetty said I was retarded, mentally ill. They were saying that I was mentally ill, dumb, stupid, retarded. They was called trying to tarnish my reputation, knowing I'm a student of Dr. Ricchetti longer than they were a student of Ujawu's. I've been a student of Dr. Ricchetti for many, many years. So from that aspect, I had to defend myself, and we had to come out publicly. Me and Baba Reggie with his text. He stole from the TLA and act like he did. The problem with the TLA plagiarism is more subtle than the first plagiarism. See, when he stole from on the third book, he was really subtle, and Baba Reggie said that to me because I'm publishing, I'm still writing to this day for the GJL. So I'm looking at, I said, yo, this is almost criminal. He should be locked up for it, but I don't put black people to jail. I don't send black people to prison. I don't kill black people no more. I don't shoot black people. I don't harm black. I'm for to protect black people and use my skills of self-defense to protect black people, not harm black people. So in this process, I'm trying to protect black people. There's no way possible I can allow that to happen before we have a discussion on what Kemet is and what Kemet isn't. We got to first talk about the plagiarism, that you're stealing other people's arguments. That I told people that argument of three bits is not their argument. That argument was an old argument that's now is not updated. That argument of it mean Kemetu meaning the three bits, the TLA, as you know, that in high-level universities that you are in, they are suggesting you use the TLA, which I already told you they would.
Yes.
The TLA is the standard. All universities know this. So the standard doesn't have a three bits for Kemetu. It has Egyptians. It has inhabitants of Egypt. So this is what I'm trying to tell people, that before we can even get into the argument, these guys stole another person's argument. They're not even arguing an argument that is new or innovative. They stole an old argument, stole the source from the TLA, act like he did the source. The TLA didn't say it had any attestations for three bits. The TLA stated that Ken word means great black on all occasions, whether it's a toponym, a water, a hydronym, or any type of nym you can name. It has black as the root of it. He didn't put that in his book. That's academic dishonesty.
Mm.
It is. Brother Smash is showing that years later, brother, is a testament to what we are saying. We didn't have a discussion about his work. He looked at his work separately. I didn't invade in. Nobody watches my channel like that anyway, which is a good thing. I would hope so. I wouldn't want these guys to be all on my channel anyway. So plagiarism.
Mm. And it's difficult to follow the repairing us live stream because like 10 hours, 8 hours. But Smash was saying that they spent some time about the cursor, talking about the location of the cursor. And I remember I did not watch the video in full in 2019 when you or Reggie were talking about the book.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember you guys saying, there's some error here and grammar and stuff like that, and right from the first page. And I remember scrolling through their response, and they spent so much time saying, this is not the first page. And I'm like, man, You guys are being accused of so many things, and you focus on the page, and they usually do that, man. Any little thing to make it a talking point. But hey, they have followers. More power to them. More power to them.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah. But at one point, um, it is clear that when they used to say nobody has done the work, that's the title of this video. Asar Imhotep has zero peer-reviewed work. I don't know if you heard Ujao. Oh, he has some comic book. It doesn't matter what's upcoming. And then, oh, but he's in communication with linguists. So what? Even if he's in communication with the Pope, what difference does that make?
That
Does he
means
have any?
yes, that means nothing. I could
Yeah.
be in communication with Dr. Cambone all I want. I could be in communication with Dr. Riccati. I could be in communication with Siba Bonachi Montgomery, with a lot of these great linguists, Dr. Nazir Sati. That means nothing without peer-reviewed data. And peer-reviewed data is to ensure the public that you're getting good information, whether it can be controversial. It can say Riparianite. That's what I'm trying to tell them. I'm not against them fighting for Riparianite. I just want us as blacks as a whole to look good to other nations around the world. So when we are arguing our points, we are arguing it in a platform, a Temple University, a BB2Me. We are arguing it on a high level, to get respect from other outside nations.
And now that you're mentioning the peer review, I don't know if I have it here, and I'm not going to share it on the screen, because the stuff from the university is copywritten, and I don't necessarily want people to know which university at this point. I prefer to show once I have the official credential. I'll be glad to show it. But they talked about the level, the accuracy of information. So you have peer review at the top. Then I think you have publication from scholars. But I'm paraphrasing really. But peer review is, if it's not the top, it might be second after publication. But I think it's at the top.
It's
then
at
you have
the top.
publication.
It's the gold standard.
Yeah.
No standard is higher than peer review.
Yeah. And then you have publication from scholars. Then you have like websites like I forgot the term, if they say reliable website or something like that.
Yes.
And then down the line you have like popular websites and social media, So far we have people who have claims, people who are not in the field at all, and their followers to try to act like this is like the top-notch scholarship. What I'm saying? Oh man. But go ahead, feel free to share your
So someone put in your page that he said that Asar showed, well, not sorry about that, not page. Somebody put comments under saying that Asar showed comparisons with Bantu and Sumerian. See, this is a case where he's presenting his data. This is why I want us to go through a peer review system. Because if we're not going through that process, which you're already learning it, I already know you're going to learn it. You're going to be one of the best Egyptologists on the planet. And I'm saying it now. You're going to be one of the best. Now, when you get to that level of being the best, that level going to come by you making mistakes, getting yourself rejected, getting yourself failing grades sometimes so you can correct your errors. This is what we all going to go through. So when you tell this guy that he makes an error like Sumerian is an isolate, you're going to have to prove, because I used to think that Sumerian was bad too. So I can't, beat this brother up too bad, because I myself was one of those blackologists that wanted everything to be black when I was ignorant. That's why I come back to this community to help, because I know I was once there in a mine. So I won't leave my brothers behind. I'm a runaway slave. I'm trying to come back and help some other slaves, right? Get away from the pseudo farm. So on the pseudo farm, you'll have the pseudo farm, the pseudo plantation. You will have people teaching that Sumerian is bad, to even have myself. So the elders used to teach us this stuff. Yes, Sumerian is bad to you. All of this. Now, once I learned by Dr. Riccati and Dr. Tadika getting around professors, man, they straight beat me up. I couldn't even come back. They showed me that it's an isolate. So by Sumerian being an isolate, for him to do this publicly like that, that's a no-no. Because now you got to prove that Sumerian is, in fact, not an isolate first. Then you have to do a whole reconstruction on Sumerian itself. Then you got to do a reconstruction on Medu Neter itself. Then you got to compare all living languages. Then you have to resurrect it. Yo, he's got work for 2 lifetimes to do. It's no way possible he will do that in his lifetime. It's mathematically impossible. Okay, so these are some statements him in Job conference, and I want to prove that this is old. I seen you posted him in Job's conference. I took a picture of him in Job's conference. Hold on, let me go back. This is 2018, brother.
Yeah.
So I created this 12/16/2018, 5:25 p.m. Last modified 2018. All right. So I collected all of Hurl's errors in 2018. These are his main arguments. This is what he presented at the Job's conference. This is why I was very upset. I was upset. I said, this guy get to go to they accept this pseudo-linguist at a conference. And here it is here. See that? He's telling you everything he's arguing here. Everything. And he gets to say that people say that why we're arguing black land. We can argue black land. And for the simple fact is that he's arguing against black land. It's not us. He said that. He said there has been an ongoing debate as to whether the meaning of the ancient Egyptian name for that country, Kemet, means black land or black people. So he's making an argument against the whole European Egyptology and the black African Egyptology as a whole. It says this is due to a number of factors. He even laid out his factors. This is at the Job's conference. Not paying attention to the determinatives. We already went through all that. We already know that he absolutely has 0 grammar skills. 2, applying the meaning black, etc. 3, not verifying the term in related African languages. See that? So we verified it with Coptic. But he don't recognize Coptic, as Dr. Mario Beatty said. So, this is an embarrassment. It says 4, not verifying one's interpretation by contextual use in Egyptian documents. We already verified the interpretation because in Old Kingdom, they describe themselves simply as black people. Here's a picture of this guy at the Job's conference. I highlight his errors, and I take a picture of his argument. He presented his arguments at the Job's conference, which is right here. I took a picture years ago. As you stated, this stuff is not peer-reviewed, people. You cannot. How am I to beef against Greenberg? If I have a problem with Afroasiatic, I cannot just come on YouTube program and say, oh, I have a problem with Afroasiatic and do self-publishing books on Afroasiatic. That's not how you get rid of Afroasiatic. You get rid of Afroasiatic, like Brother Afrostali said, by publishing your data in either a top peer-reviewed data, some type of top scientific publication that don't have to be peer-reviewed. It's still going to be peer-reviewed, but it's not going to be on the level of a journal like Robert Apostoli said. It's levels of scientific levels. So here's a picture of him. He says that the white people has a hypothesis and the black people has a hypothesis that Kim means black. This is arguments. Got a snapshot picture. He said scholars ignore chronology, ignore the earliest uses of the term, ignore the classifiers, the earliest form. Both hypotheses fail to support the idea that the root of Kemet is Kim. See, this is where you come from. You came and said that, yes, Asar is actually arguing against European Egyptologists and black Egyptologists that the root of Kim is not black. And we have a screenshot. This is at the Job's conference. This is his argument at the Job's conference. And when we go to the bottom, let me get my arrow. When we go to the bottom,
Both hypotheses fail to support the idea that the root of chem is black.
Correct. See that? Same thing you just said. Man. Both hypotheses, same thing you read, fail to support the idea that the root of Kemet is Kim black. Yo, he got a lot of explaining to do. It's a lot of explaining. Now, just to that guy's comment that someone put a comment protecting, you know, they always protect Asar Imhotep. It's all good, man. I like the brother too. He's a very good imitator. He's like a chameleon, man. I think he could be a Mortal Kombat video game as it like somebody who can impersonate somebody or something like Shang Tzu. Like he can just take your soul and become you. Here you go. And see, you say here. Yo, you see here. This is now. What year did I make this? This year, brother, is 2019. 7/5/2019. We made that. So the brother said we didn't handle his work. All right. First of all, Dr. Campbell handled his work. Dr. Campbell already said he used transliterations. He's not. Dr. Campbell stated that he's not even going to entertain what I'm entertaining. He said it's a waste of his time. He said the reason why is because he is using transliterations to translate, to compare with living languages. He said that is an academic no-no. No journal will accept that, no linguistic publication. Me in school, we learned the difference between what's transliteration and we learned the IPA, which is the International Phonetic Alphabet. When you reconstruct terms and when we are comparing terms, we are comparing sounds, not orthographic representation. Yo, this is the most basic you can get. This is like my first course in linguistics that we go over this. Dr. Ricchetti, in her basic first course, Dr. Ricchetti teaches us that transliteration does not represent sound. We get our sounds from Coptic. Like people are not understanding this stuff. They even insert the E between consonants because the E is Hebrew. This is a Egyptological convention to insert the Hebrew E between consonants. So we have to do a whole reconstruction because we are dealing with Egyptological conventions. These are only conventions. Now, in these conventions, as you see, I show error. So a guy said we didn't show his work. I'm showing it now. Now what you have to say? I'm showing it now. This is old, but I'm showing it now. They always make a reason to protect this guy. It's always a reason, man. Now, this is Asar Imhotep's work. Number one, Proto-Bantu is a unestablished, unattested proto-reconstruction. What does that mean? It means that it is not a living language. It means that it is not even a dead language, and it's not even an extinct language. This means that this is a hypothetical language that really don't exist in reality. We linguists do a hypothetical reconstruction to give a picture of proving the genetic relationship of the living languages so we can look to see the parent and how this parent language possibly derived the other languages. This is purely hypothetical if the reconstruction is not attested. So there are different types of reconstruction. This is an unattested reconstruction. So this guy is using an unattested reconstruction by Guthrie, which is right here. Then he's comparing reconstructions, man-made reconstructions, with Sumerian, which is a isolate. Do y'all get this point? See? I isolate. Then he compared it with transliterations. Here's the transliterations right here. Even Joe Obenga, Joseph Ingom, Obenga, they don't do this type of comparative analysis. You might see it in their old work, but in their new work, you won't find this type of comparative analysis. You cannot do that. This goes against any linguistic principle in the world. So as we see here, we find transliterations as Dr. Campbell has so adequately stated and tried to even help this brother, and the brother just, it's all good. He can do what he wants. But as you see, we addressed this issue. Dr. Campbell addressed it. I addressed it. Dr. Campbell addressed it. And you see Dr. Campbell was mentioning that he's using this right here. This don't represent sound, people. These are transliterations. How you can't compare. The whole point of doing a comparative method is to reconstruct. This corruption reconstruction, because this is not sound. No way this is interpreted as sound. In all Egyptological grammar books in the world, they tell you do not confuse this with living sound. These are clearly transliterations. We get our sound from Coptic. So as you see Sakam that he has here, we addressed it. He blindly compares it with Sumerian. See, this is the issue. Sumerian is an isolate. He haven't proved that this is related. This is our isolate. And this is also transliteration right here. So this is adopted from Akkadian. In Sumerian, they have a questionable phonological system that's reconstructed itself. So these are issues, man, in his work, in which we already said it, but the American public is not educated in high levels of education. It seems like, I ain't gonna say all of them, but majority of these guys here, they don't understand this process of how language works and what language don't work.
I agree with you. Brother, can you please tell us what is Chikam?
He renamed Medu Nature Chikam.
All right, all right. Are you familiar with Bilolo, Mubon bin Bilolo?
Yeah.
Does Bilolo agree with the Chikam appellation?
I'm not. I know about. Excuse me. Keep shut that off.
No problem.
I'm sorry. Keep shut that off. I know. Yeah. Sorry, brother.
Oh, no problem.
I heard about Bilolo, right? I'm not sure if we have many connections with Asar Imhotep, but a lot of guys be agreeing with Asar Imhotep. With the Sumerian stuff, I don't know. I can't speak on things I don't know about. So
I understand because I heard him saying Chikam. I mean, back then he renamed Medunecha like something like Medam Bale or something like that. I mean, at one point he proposed that we call ourselves Bacalao of North of America. And this, see, one thing that we have to be cautious about is when people have so many different organizations and associations. It's because he has, the Medam Ballet Press. I don't even know how to pronounce this stuff. He has a Samshu Hall team. He has the Diopian Seal. I mean, damn, he reminds me of Dr. York. But now, don't get me wrong. Some people, sometimes they change. They might be associated with some team, and the team, they part ways, just like some groups. People can
did you
part
read
ways.
the peer review on that stuff?
Come again?
Did you read the peer review on that stuff that you're mentioning of his self-published organizations and stuff? We can see it now. You want me to share it?
Yes, feel free. Yes.
All right.
But all I wanted to tell brothers and sisters is be cautious when you see people always having different organizations, different names and stuff like that.
Yes.
Now, it's like a red flag. It doesn't mean that anybody that's changing organizations or group is a fraud, but just beware. Just beware. Because this guy over the years, he's like a transformer, Like when he used to teach that they were Hebrews in Kemet and those Hebrews were black. Then he said, no, they were not black. This is what you would call white folks. And when I brought it up to him that he has grown and he changed his stance, him being so stubborn, he's like, oh, no, yeah, they were black. So, it's all good.
So you see Negro Egyptian languages? No, this is considered non-scientific content.
Oh, the Wikipedia attempt when you attempted to, or is it something else? Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
And it says here that the Asar Online Institute is not even a real institute. but rather indicates that the material is actually self-published nonsense. All of those institutions that you're looking at, he's making up, and et cetera, is borderline like Z York. And yes, I agree with you. And even a peer review says that this stuff is not even a real institute. There's nothing wrong with these guys having these little, like me, I have per nature research, but we already know per nature research that I use is something I made up. It's the name of my Gmail. It's not a real institute. I'm not even claiming it to be scientific. I claim a BB Toomey. I'm on a BB Toomey platform, which is a linguistic platform. So I don't say per nature research. I don't use that. I just says that everybody does that for their own. Like you have Mod Forever, you may have a Mod Forever Patreon. You know what I mean? It's similar like that. But to say that we not having, to say that we are saying that this is a real institution. See, so even peer review said that stuff not real. So.
So you have the University of Amen. Out of curiosity, I want to see if the dude is still listed on there, because Dr. Jai Hisa apparently doesn't have a problem with plagiarizing, even though he's a PhD that teaches at university. I think he even teaches at 2 universities, one in America and one in I forgot which African country he said. But presenters, well, Asar is still listed as a presenter. Reggie as well, and Dr. Sandro Capoccici. But all right. Well, it's good. It's good. All of this had a purpose. Is giving the general public some tools, some background, and then the people decide. But then you have the brother, Mr. Treddy, who was like, what about all, well, let me put up, there it is. He wrote, then you should disprove the countless examples.
I did. Look, let me show it again. Hold up,
you
bro.
did that. Yeah, that's what I mentioned.
Let me show it again. Let me show
the so-called examples is labeled pseudos. It's labeled pseudo work. It's not peer reviewed. You see, so they are on the last, what's the wording, like on it's like they are in crisis mode. And really they don't have to do that to themselves. As riparian, as they can move on to other claims.
Yes.
But that claim is like, that claim doesn't have any more life to it.
See this? He said he don't have hundreds of comparisons for one. This is his comparisons with the dude. I don't have to go through every single last comparison when we see the error in all of it. He makes the same error in every last. I want, this guy, whoever's talking, I wanted to give him a challenge. I want him to present every last comparison, since he's protecting as if he's no linguistics. I don't know. I don't know this guy. He ain't claimed to know linguistics. I'm not sure, but he's talking as if he know linguistics or something, and he's already examined that this guy is correct. This is the problem. Do you yourself know linguistics to discern what is fake linguistics from what is real? That's my point, is that when we look at this, you won't be able to discern in these comparisons if these are accurate or not. How would you discern this if you don't have formal training or any type of training? And how do you know this is correct? What is the method that you use to deduce whether we're looking at an example of the comparative method? This is not an example of a comparative method. It looks like an example of a comparative method, but it's not. And I'm gonna get going. I can go into every single work. If you show his work here, this is the main issues that we have in linguistics of his work. The main issue is this. We cannot talk about whether riparian means this or that. I'm not even going to entertain it, because we can't. The reason why we can't is because this box, you see that? What are we looking at? transliterations. So he is comparing transliterations. He is not reconstructing Sakam. He is not reconstructing Medu Neter itself. A linguist, the ultimate goal for us is to reconstruct, period. That is the ultimate goal of a linguist. So if he's not doing that, where is his reconstruction at? He haven't reconstructed Sakam. He haven't, he's not even comparing international phonetic sounds. He's not comparing IPA. He's comparing transliteration systems. There are different types of transliteration. What transliteration system is he using? Which from where? Is it from the German school, the French school, or the American school? Is it from Budge's transliteration? Is it Faulkner's? Or is it Gardner's? What transliteration is different types of transliterations. So he is comparing this, and you see no vowels. This is not a effing vowel. Sorry for my language, but this is not a vowel. This right here, that's not a vowel. People think that's a vowel. That's not a vowel sound. That's a transliteration. These are transliterations. The W is not a vowel. This is this W is not a semi-vowel according to the IPA. This is only transliterations, consonants, transliterations. This is not a vowel. Some may have it as one, some may not. It depends on your transliteration. So this is in all of his work. Every last comparison has this error, as Dr. Obadeli Cambone has pointed out years ago, a PhD in linguistics.
And that's it's very important. It's very important. So the people who want to be blind followers and groupies, more power to you all. But I would suggest that you don't let yourself being used and going to slaughter, being used like guinea pig to go and make statements and not appear so bright when he's sitting all nice and dandy, you know what I'm saying? And he
Right.
keeps on sending y'all to be slaughtered, to go and make a fool of yourselves. Anytime I talk to my people, I don't want them to make a fool of themselves.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that I give them some information that they could mention to the lay people or even to the professionals, and that's what we should do. It's not impossible for the general public to be familiar with specific matters or specific fields, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But over and over again, and it's been years that so many incorrect information. I mean, just the Allah is an indigenous African god.
Yes.
The Hebrew language being an African language, like, I mean, let me just, for those who don't know, because we have 20 people right now, just people need to hear that
Allah, and this is where I would disagree with Brother Shaka, is actually in the Egyptian text.
So Allah is in the Egyptian text.
The god Allah is an indigenous African god.
Allah is an indigenous African god.
These Hebrews, come from and who they are specifically. Because based upon my research, these are African people.
Hebrews are African people.
This is how we know that the Hebrews, first of all, you got to understand that Hebrew is an African language.
Hebrew is an African language. And finally, I'm going to spare people of the fly coming from the English word fly coming from the Medu Neter Heper.
Then when you do a linguistic analysis, you understand that the Hebrew language is cognate with the Yoruba language.
So Hebrew language is connected with the Yoruba language. You add that in a milkshake. In a milkshake, you do a cocktail, and the final ingredient of plagiarism of several books by several authors in several different languages. You have some dynamite cocktail drink.
Yes. You have to. Yes.
But still, you have some people who follow the dude, blind him, and actually disrespect us.
Yes, they think it's me saying it, and I said, no, this is from a professor, a PhD. Help me out with this problem, because when I submitted, I told you y'all had to go. We have to go through a blind review, an editor's review before you get to peer review, because in a peer review process, you submit your work, you submit it to the editor first, and the editor peer review your work, and then it goes to the peer review. You got a lot of reviews by experts reviewing your paper. So when I submitted the comparisons I used, which was the model of Dr. Jobs, back then, Jobs was accurate back according to back then, but now we don't use it in linguistic in the linguistic teaching no more. We don't use transliterations no more to compare with living language. So this is an example. The living languages is in this arrow is Saluba. If we look,
yes,
that's a living language that is alive today. So this means that this have to be represented by actual sound. The sounds are IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. The sounds are generated in your larynx, and it came from us evolving from Africanus afarensis to the other humanoid species as we start becoming more upright. One of the language origin hypotheses is that our larynx then dropped downwards, and we were beginning at the beginning stages of forming speech and being vocal. So all human groups will have it, and so we have to represent anything that's living. Living languages are languages that are spoken right now, which is also considered contemporary languages. So in contemporary languages, we have sound. You see, this is sound right here. You see the A, the K. The K don't represent this K. This is a different. This is not a sound. This is a sound. This represents the velar. The velar. I think this is a voiceless velar plosive, just by memory. Voiceless velar plosive. This is a rounded vowel. This is a bi-articulate or co-articulate consonant, which is like a nasal. This is not even represented by the IPA either. So this is a kind of like an herbal right here. This ND, this can be written better with IPA, but I give him that. I let him slide. So this is A. So he have IPA all through here. If we make it bigger, we can see the IPA. He's using IPA because you see that diacritic mark over that A. You see that?
Yes, I see it. Yes.
This represents a tone, the tone of that particular vowel. But this is to Professor Campbell's point. How can you compare something that's living with something that we don't even know how it sounds? See, this is the issue. We only know it by Coptic. See, and he don't compare Coptic. He said Coptic is not
the latest. I mean, was it Niger Congo or Bantu that he said is closer to the Mother Nature than the Coptic? I mean, there's some of his claims I wish I would have had on tape, on record, you know, but like Rise of Volcano.
Yes.
But
So
yeah, go ahead.
Right, Rise of Volcano.
If I had that one on record, man, I would have played it in every live streams, man. But you know, earlier you talked about the process, you know, of the peer review. You know, at my university, when we will have our essays, they have that very nice system that someone from another university will actually look into your work. So it's not just your professors that's going to grade your work, but someone that's from another university that would actually review your work. You know, so I mean, and that makes it that makes a huge difference.
And also, they're going to teach you how to peer review work too, because you're going to have when you graduate, brother, you're going to make a lot of money. And I'm not just saying by manipulating people like they do. I'm talking about by being a professional in your field. Other universities are going to want you to work for that college. You're gonna get expenses to go to different states to work, because how I know you're gonna be a valuable asset to Egyptology. But you have to go through once you go through your schooling, you will know for a fact that the peer review process, they're going to teach you how to do it. I have to grade someone else's work now. I'm in a discussion where we're looking at other people's work, and they're grading our peer review of other people's work. So they're going to actually teach you how to conduct that process in every school before you get your doctorate, or if you're in an undergrad, they teach you peer review. Wrap up associates, bachelors, mainly bachelors, and masters, and all of that. You learn how to peer review documentation yourself. They're going to teach you that process yourself. So as you see the arrow there, you see that is that's transliteration. That is the normal transliteration that you see, that I see. That's convention. This
Yes.
is known convention.
Yes, for the vowels, especially. Yes.
So these are all conventional transliterations. Now the Coptic is different. That's why Coptic was used for the decipherment of Medu Neter itself.
Yes.
Without Coptic, even though the decipherment was partly deciphered by Thomas Young and then by the Cartouches, yes, but it wasn't full yet. It became full once Champollion used the African element of Coptic to get to the fullness of these terms. That's what Champollion said himself. So the decipherment could not happen without knowing the sounds, knowing the grammar of Coptic, which was a contemporary. It's not living, but it's like an extinct language, which is still all good.
And you know what you just said, Dr. Mario Beatty said that with what Asar is doing, Asar Imhotep, Asar Imhotep, is implicitly, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's implicitly saying that the Medu Neter has not been deciphered. You know, and I remember we both were saying this. Those guys are like pushing our people 50 years back. You know what I'm saying? So you know, hey. But you know, brother, I want to thank you. I'm gonna have a class actually in like 20 minutes. You know, Medu Neter class. So
Okay.
I appreciate you coming in. You know what I'm saying? And uh, we our people will get some clarity, but unfortunately, some people are just stubborn. They want to worship some people. They want to be loyal soldiers. So that comes with the territory. But really, he says all examples. But when you ask, see, when you ask them questions, ultimately they're not even really, they don't appear to be that familiar with the claim. They don't appear to be that comfortable with the claims because most of the time they don't come on the platform to have a dialogue. You know what I'm saying? So here it is. You know what I'm saying? So thank you very much, brother. I really encourage you. And and like I said, you know, when you told me that back then, I inspired you to do better. When I heard you saying that, you know, you want to go in the field and you're studying filming in the field, that inspired me back as well. You know what I'm saying? And I stated that before, but I want to say it again, you know. So I'm very happy and you know, uh um um I just, you know, I'm gonna keep it pushing. I'm only learning. I'm just new in the field. I'm a student. I'm learning. Um but that's my passion, you know. And it's been years that I've been hesitating. Should I go to school? Should I not? I was like, okay, I know the language, and then finally, better late than never, like they say, better late than never.
Man, you're
So
gonna do
I'm
good.
very glad, you know, I'm very glad, and I can't wait to talk with Chuck Morgan because he said he wants to, you know, have a talk
Yes,
with
he
me.
knows Sumerian. Now
Yeah.
that's my Sumerian guy.
Mm,
If I have
yeah.
questions on Sumerian,
Yeah.
and if I have, being that my teacher already, Dr. Ricchetti, I'm probably up. I'm up on the Egyptology, but I'm still going to go to school and take a course for Egypt. That don't mean, see, people in this community think, you know a little something you don't know. We still, as researchers, because we are fighting a big fight. Our fight really is not against each other. Our fight is against other nation scientists. You don't think we got to be up to date with dealing with this stuff? We're going to attack that Kemet means Egyptian. I am not in this not to attack that scientifically. I am in this to attack that. Kemet means blacks, and we have scientific evidence to prove it. We are here to reconstruct African history and culture, and we're going to do it the correct way, the peer-reviewed way, and we're going to get respect by other nations of scientists. So once you become an Egyptologist, I know you got to go. They're going to invite you to be a peer reviewer for some journals. You'll see. You're going to be reviewing other people's work. And it's something like this slide past your desk, where a guy is showing you a living language, and then he's showing you transliterations from Middle Kingdom, and he's comparing these two. See that? He's comparing something that doesn't represent sound with something that represents actual sound. Yo, it's going to be a problem. So this is the point of peer review. If he would have submitted this, brother, only thing I was saying to the brother before he insulted me and start saying I'm retarded and have mental issues or whatever, I was trying to say, yo, once you send it through a peer review system, to get this checked so you can know your error, then correct your error, submit it again, pass it. That way we can do battle where other scientists around the world can look at us, and also we can get support for our research money, because they don't give grants unless you with a university accredited accomplished university. Then we can get research grants to go over and do work and etc. Real work. Even if you're trying to prove your point, it's all good, because I would love to bust you up in front of all the scientists, not just a BB Toomey. I want to bust you up in front of everybody. I want you on
And
a level.
and Brother Nejneb, when Sanjeti said that you are retarded, was it when you disagree with the contribution to the toponym, the place name Kemet? Well,
Yes.
and everybody can witness. There's one video when they appear together. I forgot if it was on Batty Garfield's channel, but there's one video when they appear together. But after that, we haven't seen it. We don't see him in that conversation because he gives Metal Nature classes, and it's going to be difficult for him to get away from Cam in Black, you know. So he's a bit smarter than the other ones, you know. But um, I mean, he's not getting in the conversation, and that's a smart move from him. That's really a smart move, you know what I'm saying? So we don't even have, you know, three authors that are pushing for this stuff, but we really have two, you know. And you know, we heard what Wujao had to say, and uh Asar, you know, everybody has
I have a
comprehension.
recording. I have a recording with me and Sanjeti on Sinetta. And I was trying to tell Sanjeti he plagiarized. And Sanjeti was starting to call me names and try to talk bad about me.
So did Sanjeti plagiarize as well?
Yes. We didn't do Sanjeti because Sanjeti ain't the leader. He's just the follower.
Yeah.
We only
All
got
right.
the leader, which was Asar. But yes, it's actually Sanjeti's got the worser. His writing is worse than everybody's writing. And you know how bad Ujabu's and Asar writing is in that book. His writing is the worst of all of them.
You know, that's news to me because I thought it was only Asar and Ujau that plagiarized. I didn't know that Sanjeti plagiarized as well. But you know,
No, I ain't saying he plagiarized. I ain't saying he plagiarized. What I'm saying is that his
writing was worse. Oh, okay.
It's worse.
Okay. It's a misunderstanding. I'll say, okay,
Yeah.
I get it. But you know, it's really smart of him. It's really smart of him not to engage in that conversation because it's a sinking boat. You know, it's a sinking boat. So all they can say is, you know, oh, you have to let some people go. They have comprehension issues. They don't comprehend. And yeah, okay, keep saying that. Say that for 20 years and see where that gets you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, can I show you a quote from Sanjeti?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just want to show a quote from Sanjeti.
All right.
So everybody know I can be a little obnoxious sometimes, but I do it in good spirit. I do it because I love my people. But let me show you some. I just want to show you real quick before you go to Meta Nature.
Yeah. I have like 12 minutes really, so you know we're good.
Come on.
We're good. I have 12 minutes, so it's okay.
I'm just trying to find it. Okay. Let's look up his statement. Some statements he made. I mean, they were horrible statements too, man. This guy, his words is so disrespectful.
And I've seen those statements because there's that guy in France. He actually interviewed you. That guy, man, he slandered me. He put up a video of someone who filmed my parents' house just because I separated from my baby mama. And that guy, he's from Gabon. He told us about a scholar from Gabon. He told us that scholar from Gabon has molested a underage girl, and that's why he left his country. And because I wasn't cool with those pedophilia, same with those Pan-African rapists, he hasn't addressed that. But then he's gonna go and slander me. You know what I'm saying? Because I separated my baby mama. So a couple separating is so bad that he goes on tape slandering me. But he's I don't want to say uncle because we have a word in French, it's tonton. It's like uncle, but it's like saying auntie instead of saying aunt. And in Africa, usually when someone is older than you, you will refer to the person, not everywhere, but as tonton. So that's why I don't want to use an English word uncle, you know, because people might think that I'm implying that they are they have they are related by blood. But he's been quiet and it's like protecting the dude, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's another discussion. But just to say that I have seen the statements, the comments that Sanjetti made towards you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there it is. Here it is.
So you have seen it yourself? Wow.
This yeah, because you shared it in some
Oh,
of
I did?
your live streams. Yeah, you did share that. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now this is another
So
French
that,
brother,
yeah,
man, with so
that's
much.
that's the guy I'm talking about. That's the guy I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
he got mad at me. Look, I was telling him something about joke and that happened at UNESCO. He got pissed at me for some reason, brother,
Well,
and he started calling me names and all that. I said, "Okay, brother."
don't worry about him. He's a fence rider. He's been
Okay.
defending that fake professor who showed that drawing from the Nubians of a drawing of Prophet Muhammad, and he told people that this is a portrait of Prophet Muhammad from testimonies of his companions. And the guy even said, I have some portrait when he's younger, which is one of the most pseudo stuff ever. That guy is a cheerleader. Besides that guy, that professor, I don't want to say the guy's name, but everybody knows him in France. He's been scamming and stealing money for about 40 years. I mean, this dude is a straight up fraud, I'm telling you. But it's okay. Just continue, brother. Continue.
Wow, but I ain't know all that. I'm glad something my lady told me is that sometimes relationships break up for a reason, especially like in this type of field. And she told me that all the time is that kind of like you in school now. So imagine you building with this guy, and now you in school and you get a degree or something, and now we got evidence we together. You know what I mean? And they can link us to being pseudo. So sometimes these relationships that break up, would be good for our career.
Yeah.
No joke. But thank you for telling me that about that. But
I mean, there's so much more I could say, but obviously at some other time. But I'm very familiar with that dude. He's been to my house. I've been to his house. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, some people don't have a problem with people stealing computers at a hospital, and they use that computer. And before that was about to happen, I said that's not my art. And I didn't think it would happen, but one of his friends, actually did the thing. And I'm not talking to the authorities. That's not snitching. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying some people don't have a problem having the computer in their house, and the computer was stolen from the hospital. There's a there's a saying in French, like shooting at the ambulance. It's like something so bad. But some people, I'll leave it there.
Yeah, I ain't trying.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
call
I know,
that dry
yeah.
snitching, so I don't.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys should be locked up for that weak shit they do with the scholarship. They should be locked up for bad scholarship.
Oh, you know what?
They should be in prison in charge with bad scholarship.
I will end on this one. That guy there. I have the screen print. I've shared it. It's on my Facebook page. Well, it used to be. Maybe it has been removed because I changed. But I still have the screen print. He said you can be Kemetic and be transgender. That's what he said.
I don't have nothing against the transgender.
No, but the principles of my art, I have not. People translate it differently, but at one point he said I have not laid with another man. So it's not the practices of people of ancient Kemet. So I'm not doing gay bashing, but I'm just saying, like Christians, Muslims, they don't practice homosexuality.
They don't.
And nobody's going to say the Christians are homophobic. The Jews as well, Jewish people, they according to their religion,
the Kemetia was not. They did not practice. Their main goal was not open to homosexuality.
Yeah, so nobody's going to say. Yeah, nobody's going to say the Jewish people are homophobic. Nobody's going to say the Muslims, the Christians, and Catholic are homophobic. So we should get the same respect. We are not homophobic. We just don't get down like this. But this fence rider there, he wrote that. So But anyway, go ahead. We have son Jenny here. So yeah.
It says now this brother, even though he has, I witnessed his character is weird, but I'm not here to judge anybody. Yeah. But he had weird characters. I disagreed with him one time, and he started calling me all type of names. I was like, "Dang, just by a disagreement." Oh, but anyway, he said here he agrees with me. Sometimes these guys agree with you, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they cuss you out, sometimes they don't cuss me out. But okay. It said, Brother Ned and Ned, featuring Brother Reggie, destroyed the arguments of the Shamsu Abdallah research team. And it says, what Jew commits intellect. This is years ago.
Yeah.
And here go Superboy, right? Because Asar is Superman. And Ujabu is robbing because he robbed everybody. So he's robbing. And this is Superboy. Superboy saw Jetty come up and say both Netanyahu and Reggie had reading comprehension issues. And you, Masima Emily, had poor character. I kind of agree with
Yeah, he has
right
poker.
there.
He's a huge fence
I gotta
rider, man.
agree
That
with
dude.
Jetty right
That
there.
that dude, he was living with a white woman, but every day on Facebook he used to post pictures of black women. It's just to make people think that he's all about black women. I mean, the guy is so lame, but I don't even want to waste my time with this homie. If you go on his channel, and when
Well,
he
I don't
uploads
have,
videos, he has like 10 views. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And yeah,
I don't have
yeah,
an issue with us with
yeah.
dealing with different races or whatever.
Mm.
That's
No,
not
no, I'm just
violation
saying.
of.
I'm just saying he's posting pictures of black women every day. I mean, back then he
Oh,
used.
he's
I'm not saying.
promoting black women, but he
Yeah,
living with a white
that's
woman.
one of the reasons a lot of people used to
Doing
like
things.
his page, because he will get all these pictures from different groups, different Facebook pages, and he
Yeah.
will keep on uploading. All these pictures of black women is one of the things he used to do the most, like several times a day, sometimes, but at least once a day. But he's I leave it there. I leave
To
it
get money though, these guys in a community like that, the pseudo community, that they attract the women,
there.
and
Yeah,
that's how they get the money.
yeah.
They start saying black women is God and these creepy things, and next thing you know is
Mm.
they getting a lot of money. That's
We
like a
we
tactic.
we met a sister at a Pan African event. The sister told us that fake scholar, that fake professor,
Mhm.
has stole money from her. He didn't say anything, but I celebrate with my baby mama. He makes a video slandering me. You know what I'm saying? He told us that guy there, told us that fake professor stole money when somebody died, and they collected money for the family, and he kept the money.
He
But he's not
stole
gonna say
money from someone who.
that.
Oh,
Yeah, when people die, you collecting funds. You know what I'm saying, for the family. The fake professor
ugh.
said, "Give me the money. I give it to family." He kept the money. You know what I'm saying? He told us that. You know what I'm saying? He told us that. And he's not criticizing. I mean, if people only knew the amount of stuff that those Pan Africans are aware of, even down to pedophilia, you know what I'm saying, and
Pedophile.
rape. Yes, I mean, he's the one who told us about the pedophile from his country. You know what I'm saying? He's from the same country. But I leave it there, brother. I'm gonna have to go for my class. Thank you very much for being there, brother.
All right,
And
brother.
we'll link up as usual, brother.
All right, but you see, Saw Jetty comments. He said
Oh yeah,
because
yeah. Finish
we
with that. Yes.
reviewed Ujabu's work. He said we had reading comprehension issues.
Yeah.
All right, so that was his reply back. So
All right. Thanks a lot, brother Ned.
all right.
Well, brothers and sisters, I'm not gonna have time to finish reading the comments. I'm not even gonna put the outro because I have to do a class with a brother that you actually know, but I'll let him say if he wants to say that he's taking classes with me. But stay safe, stay healthy, and if I'm allowed to by the net channel, I will definitely holler back at you. If you are not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. Yeah, if you are not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. Do I to do an Hotep.